Doing good, doing good.
How was Thanksgiving? Oh wit, I'm I'm asking
Okay,
Lori.
Alan,
That
or
was this
asking
guy.
Alan?
He's not from
Yeah.
Canada. Uh,
I was waiting for Alan to answer. I was like, is he another Canadian?
Oh, yes,
no, I already
that's
asked
earlier.
Alan. I just
I
asked
answered
you.
mine already.
Yeah. I just assume like the entire world is Canada, right?
Yep, we are the world.
Nice. It's just Will for now then. Any last minute issues with anybody's sheets that I need to resolve before we start? I hope not. D&D Beyond should be working just fine, but Mac, you good?
No, that should be all good.
Sounds good. Really? Will is typing right now. He might be joining us in just a moment. A few minutes we can wait, that's fine. What you been up to?
For myself, working on my dissertation and beginning the design of a web application.
Yeah.
Fun.
Sounds cool.
Lauren, you met Mac before, right? You played with him before in...
Yeah, he was the ODM.
Yeah, yes. Yes, he was. Of course. I'm very tired. I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep. I can run D&D, but I can't run my life right now. I can't run my brain out of the sectors. All batteries are running on D&D mode right now. Fair enough, yeah. So you've met him. Cool. It's nice for him for Mac to come back in one capacity or another. I'm more than happy to have him. He had a few unfortunities with his other groups, and when I heard about it, I was like, that just feels terrible. Got experience call of the Netherdeep one way or another. It's fine. To be fair, aside from this group, I didn't have any luck finding any online groups either that were like same energy as this group or like same availability or whatever. It was always like one thing or another. I would start a group for one session and like somebody would bail, another person would bail, and then it just collapsed from there. It happens.
Yeah, the group that I normally play with on Sunday is currently not operating because, and I don't blame DM, his schedule is fucking horrible right now. He's going to be in 9 different countries in Europe in the space of 2 months on the weekends.
In the space of, is he touring for music or something, or what is he doing?
No, basically, he works for Nintendo,
Mm.
and he's he basically has 2 jobs. He's basically a database administrator, developer, or that sort of stuff. But while they're not doing that, he's an event coordinator, so he's going to events all over Europe.
Cool.
And since they just they're starting to hang about the new Mario game, he's busy as fuck.
Thank you for dating my video. I appreciate that. Time stamping that. I always love it when like YouTube content creators like release a video and it's like Merry Christmas and it's like January. Or not January. Well, that would make sense. More like July, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And yesterday was Christmas. And what?
Yeah. They're like talking like COVID did not happen yet, and it's like 2023. They still have joy in their eyes.
The fools.
Yes, they don't know what's coming.
Yes.
The doom.
Wow.
All right. Cool. Will, where you're at? Well, you're gonna make me cut a lot of content from the beginning of my video. Trim it all up. Well, to be fair, I kind of respect you for doing that, for having a video editor in browser. It's kind of cool. Very convenient. Usually if somebody's not showing up for a long time, we start without them if we don't want to wait, and just like they'll join whenever they can join, but if I start now, it's going to be just Julian by himself.
Yeah, no, exactly. One
Yeah,
down,
and
when you get 2 down.
also we did agree that that Riot was going to heal Kraxus. That we'd let him go and stuff. And I mean, Riot's not here. He can't exactly do the healing.
Yeah, he's logging on right
Okay.
now. It's all good. Yep. I'm glad you guys can like discuss things before session. I want to encourage that. If it's small things that don't progress the story too far, just making decisions ahead of time before you commit to them. That way you don't have to like be like, should we do this? Should we do that during session? That really saves time, and I like it. And it's not that I hate doing shopping. I don't hate it. I love running NPCs and all that, but sometimes it just becomes a little bit soulless, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a shopping session.
Yeah. It's just not fair for everybody else who's like, I don't need to shop or anything, so I'll just sit here while 3 other people in the party exchange coin for items. It's something that can be done over chat, I think. Whole other ordeal when the DM makes it part of an adventure. When it's like a quest within the shop, like Blinkskis and Strahd and all that. Callback 2022. Hey, Will, you're with us? Adjusting your mic?
Yep.
Can we start?
Should be going.
Can we start?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Before I start, I'll start our narration, then I'll send you guys off to do whatever you want. Quick note before session, very important that because we have a lot of new players, let's practice giving each other space to talk and all that. That way everybody gets a say. But without further ado, let's begin. Picking up from where we last left off session. Upon the cold stone floor, the evidence of Fate's Fortune's recent battle lies in a stark contrast to the grim decor of this ritual chamber in which you find yourself in. The lifeless bodies of defeated cultists, their cloaks of dark serpentine patterns now stained with their own spilled blood, form a gruesome tapestry of chaos. Among the carnage, the colossal form of the anathema lies in deathly repose, its threat extinguished, but its malevolence forever etched into the temple's unholy sanctum and your memories. The chamber resonates with a palpable aura of malice. A place where Zahir's dark designs and insidious machinations manifest in twisting glory, creating an unsettling tableau that beckons both the faithful and the foolhardy into the depths of its shadowy embrace. It is here, with a lash of shadows in hand, that you and your party stand amidst the aftermath of this fierce struggle. Panting and weary, but victorious, you spent a moment recuperating from your wounds and collecting your thoughts. Right. With the anathema vanquished and the battle finally coming to an end, you find yourself in a moment of both triumph and somber reflection. Amid the carnage lies the fallen Myconid sovereign, Grip, who had played a pivotal role in aiding the party during this confrontation. As the group gathers around Grip's lifeless form, a sense of loss and sadness fills the air. It becomes clear that Grip had suffered grievous wounds in the battle against the anathema, and its fungal form has been severely damaged. Moved by a sense of duty and gratitude, Riot, the group's druid, you step forward, producing a large diamond from your possessions. With great care, the druid channels the potent magic of the Wild Mother, casting a powerful spell upon the fallen Myconid sovereign. In a miraculous moment, the lifeless form of Grip stirs, and its once dim eyes flicker back to life. The Myconid sovereign rises, its gratitude evident in the mycelium patterns that ripple across its fungal body. And in a soft, melodic voice that resonates within the minds of your group, Grip expresses its heartfelt thanks for the party and for their aid in defeating this anathema. With newfound determination, Grip shares its intentions to remain within the anathema's lair for some time. The fallen serpent's corpse, now lifeless and vanquished, serves as a macabre yet meaningful source of nourishment. Using the anathema's body, Grip plans to initiate the creation of a new Myconid cycle, a place where new spores can be nurtured and new life can be emerged from the remains of the old. As the rest of you look upon the unusual scene, you are reminded of the intricate cycles of life, death, in the natural world, and the resilience of myconic kind. With Greep's revival and its determination to start anew, you have not only earned the myconic sovereign's gratitude, but also have become a part of a unique chapter in an ongoing story of the fungal creature's existence. Question to the group, which I guess applies to just Riot and Julian. Which one of you holds onto Ao's spear?
Riot.
Riot? Okay. So, Riot, as you watch the lesser shadows drop into the bag of holding held in Nia's grasp, you clutch onto Rune's Wake, the malevolent trident that exudes that ominous aura I described last session, and suddenly you hear a voice emanate from within the weapon, like a whisper from the depths of the abyss itself. It begins to speak, its words laced with a persuasive charm. Ah, well won, my wielder, it croons in a silky, beguiling tone. Violence has its own unique way of settling disputes, does it not? And you, my dear Riot, have displayed a remarkable talent for it. The arrow wish continues, its words weaving a captivating web around your mind, aiming to draw out your deepest desires hidden within your heart. I am Yarrowish, a solver of problems. For truly, there is no dilemma that a well-applied measure of violence cannot rectify. I see in you the makings of a true warrior, a killer. Tell me, dear Riot, what is it you seek? What darkness resides within your soul, yearning to be unleashed? Allow me to guide you in your quest, for together we shall carve a path toward your desires through the art of violence. Tell me, what do you long for? What drives your very soul? And as you listen to him weave his words in his persuasive power as it grows, aiming to discern the innermost desires and motives of Riot, and it means to bond you to the malevolent trident in a dark, insidious alliance. What do you do?
Well, first, because Julian knew this as well in the past, but the spear would be able to see in his mind everything he did with the myriad. Things he didn't do, things he let happen. Deaths. His own hand in causing downfall to comrades as well as city guard and civilians, as well as putting to sleep those that caused harm to the family. Riot's hand would grip the spear, and his eyes would change from a little bit of light to almost a glazed over look Julian would be able to see. And all he would murmur back would be, peace. Peace for those around me and peace for those in front.
Curious. Go for it.
Through whatever means I must do. I will, if somebody is in front of me and they're going to harm those that are my friends, my family, I'll do what I must to make them survive.
Through the innate connection you have with the trident, even without having attuned to it yet, it's still, the creature communicates, lingers on your mind, sensing those thoughts, and you can feel it purring back. As your memories of the myriad of your deeds sort of flash before your eyes, you see the victims before you lying on the ground, and then that memory melds to the scene in the present before you, another victim, Craxus, lying defeated, his form limp upon the ground as Nia aims to mend him. As you stand over the defeated form of Craxus, Rune's Wake practically thrums with anticipation in your grasp, and Yarrowish's voice slithers into your mind once more, its tone growing even more seductive, even more sultry. Why linger in uncertainty, my wielder? This is your moment to assert your dominance, to ensure that your enemies do not return to haunt you. Finish him off, let his life's blood flow, and seal his fate. For should you show mercy now, what guarantee do you have that he won't rise against you in the future? A swift and simple solution is within your very grasp. Show me the steel in your heart, Riot. Prove your worthiness as my wielder.
Riot will have almost a sinister smile for a moment before it turns into almost a calm one, and would let out a small laugh that everybody would hear and say, "Well, oh crap, what was his name?"
Yarrowish.
Well, Yarrowish, if you know anything about pleasure in defeating, then you would know that once one is defeated, one can always be defeated again. And it could also break one's soul if they can never win. So by showing mercy, I also show strength. You have not seen the type of strength that this is, perhaps, because only the weak take the easy way out. Having him as a friend and a rival, oh, that makes for fun. Riot will
Is that
kneel
all?
down.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all Riot
Yeah,
allows.
he's talking to Spear,
And-
yes.
Yeah, and Riot's gonna kneel down and cast Cure Wounds level 1 on Craxus.
Alright, cool. So, as you do that, Yarwish's persuasion hangs in the air still, fading as you commit to, essentially against what it's trying to persuade you to do, resisting its influence. And you realize that beneath its honeyed words, there's a subtle undercurrent of malice, an alternative motive, perhaps, that you detect, and you choose no. I choose my own actions. It's evident that as you play its game, the malevolent trident is playing you back. It's testing your resolve and willingness to carry out this act of violence. The choice is clear, but it is not without consequence. Even this choice to heal Craxus. Yarrowish's cooperation in the future may be less certain should you refuse to take Craxus' life. Are you certain about the choice you're about to undertake? This path in the crossroads?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Julian, anything you want to say before I carry on the scene?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Those of you
Julian,
yeah?
as he suddenly hears Riot talking to what seems to be himself, but quickly realizes it's the weapon, he'll sort of like inch closer towards Riot and Craxus. Just in case Riot suddenly does become bloodthirsty, but as he listens to more of what he listens more to what Riot is saying, he calms down.
Yeah, only natural for you to be cautious. After all, it's only been about 30 minutes since you've got speared, but it's very spear. Nonetheless, those of you that focus on stabilizing Craxus provide healing to the Dragonborn Barbarian of the Maroon 6 rival party. Rising onto his feet, his wounds hematized, Craxus seems entertained, more than wary of the outcome of the battle. A good fight. You win this one. Seeing as I am still breathing, I presume you will let me go now, yes?
Riot will motion to Julian to hand back the maul. Yes.
Oh, I didn't take it. My
Yeah,
bad.
he chose not to take it.
I mentioned to Tom privately that I wasn't taking it.
Yeah.
No, I just assumed you were holding it for now.
Not even. He chose to just not even go for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which, Craxus is visibly appreciative of with. I'm just going to post things for our new players, just notes as we go.
I would just say,
Craxus.
Craxus,
Yeah.
It was a fun fight. You're a strong warrior, and I think you have the respect of all of us. We didn't understand what was occurring, what was happening at the time. We thought we were both here for the anathema. We like to smooth out whatever we can with the Maroon 6, figure out what's happened, what's gone on, what's gone wrong. We never meant for anything to escalate to bloodshed between us. We never wanted to fight with you guys. As far as I've always seen it, you've been our friends.
Things went too far tonight. In more ways than one.
Sometimes the blood runs too hot in battle. But should you wish to... what is that word that's complicated? It's a Marquesian word. I think it's parley. Should you wish to do this parley... well, if you could just let me go, and if you let me go, I can speak with Eo and pass your message to her. see if we can meet at the tavern we often frequent, perhaps. What's the name of that one? I believe it's called the First Eclipse. Yes, it is located just across Slack's Run, the casino in the bazaar.
Well,
What time?
When he has to talk to AO first.
No, the decision is yours. I can carry forth the message and we come to an agreement.
Tomorrow
How
after we
about-
all rest.
Maybe in the afternoon.
In the afternoon, I can do that. First Eclipse, then. Good selection of ales there. It's my favorite spot in town, outside of the Ball of Judgment, of course. Oh, I see the mighty anathema is slain. Yours was the last blow. The Lash of Shadow is yours by right of combat. Good. However, I do not see my friend Ao amid the dead. I presume you've let her go. I suppose it is not too much to ask for Ao's trident returned.
Let that happen at the discussion.
I'm in no
I'll
position
bring
to push the subject. I think you've shown me mercy enough. I was at your heels and you decided not to step on my throat. I appreciate that enough.
Craxus, we never want you to die. We don't want any of you guys to die.
We never aim to kill you either. Just defeat you. Just beat your faces. Anyway.
Well, if you have a headache, I do apologize. That was my 8 fist.
It's a bruise I will carry with pride, and one warrior to another, you hit like a true warrior. Respect. Okay, where's my maul? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, yep. I'm just gonna puts his maul over his shoulder, and unless you have any other further business with him, and you're just gonna let him go, he's gonna march away, following the tracks of his party toward the west.
I would give him a good berry.
Thanks. Oh, this tastes much better than seawater. As you recall, Ao's berries taste like seawater.
Exactly.
I'm just saying,
No.
you better return the spear to Ao. It will not serve you well. It will not serve well while its previous wielder still lives. That thing, it has a mind of its own.
I know. I fought against it because it wanted me to kill you.
Cheeky bastard, Yarrowish. And with that, he waddles toward the west. Fair enough. Yes.
I
so-
imagine that as we're making our exit,
Mhm.
Julian will establish a telepathic connection with Riot and Nia,
Sure.
just the three of them, and talk more about what happened tonight and our thoughts on it. How I think some of the things that Winston and Julia did just went a little bit too far, trying to murder Ao and that thing with Maggie.
I will agree with you. I do believe that Winston's infatuation was a little much and such a cold-hearted decision
That
on
much,
IO.
yeah.
But I feel like they perhaps are not suited for the party that we wish to create and venture on forth. I believe it would be much safer without somebody so quick to violence.
With that in mind, you also think about Gulia's mission being done here. After all, she was but a mercenary, taken by the Jewel's quest, but never truly invested in it until this was resolved here with the cult and all that, the threat of the old betrayer god upon her people. This done, perhaps she can move on to other ventures. But without lingering too much on the negative, with your hard-fought victory secured and the spoils of your success in tow, the Lash of Shadows and the Spear, and the other treasures, you and the rest of Fate's Fortune begin your ascent from the dim, damp depths of the Anathema's lair, climbing your way back to the surface of Ankarel. Following closely behind are the many prisoners who had been unjustly held captive by the cult, their faces alight with a mixture of relief and trepidation as they emerge from darkness into moon's light. Among the freed prisoners is Question, the pink-skinned and ever-curious tiefling agent of the Cobalt's soul. Though visibly fatigued from her time in the cult's underground lair, question assists the party with unwavering determination, helping ensure the safe return of all prisoners to the surface. As you all reach the city above, deliberated captives. So? Okay. Deliberated captives are joyously reunited with their families and loved ones. You see tears of relief and gratitude flowing freely amid the emotional reunions. And you are soon approached by agents of the Cobalt Soul. In their midst stands Jamil Alithia, the High Curator of the Cobalt Soul here in Ankarel. A warm and welcoming smile graces his face as he greets you, expressing his immense pleasure at the return of his agent Question. Jamil extends his heartfelt thanks to the party for their brave efforts in rescuing the prisoners and dismantling the cult's operations. He shares his intentions to remain in Icarel's slum district, where he will devote his time to aiding in the reintegration of the prisoners with their families and the broader community. Before parting ways, Jamil Alithia addresses the party, encouraging you to take a well-earned rest and recover from your arduous ordeal, assuring you that your efforts have not gone unnoticed. His eyes twinkle with steadied pride, especially as he glances toward Nia, and then he asks for you to join him for an important gathering to take place the following morning at the Temple of the Knowing Mentor, promising you will be celebrated once again. With that done, you're free to disperse and find some much-needed rest, knowing that your work in Ankarel is far from over. It is at this point that as the party comes to rest, perhaps exchanges a few words and parts ways with Gulia and Sir Winston, that you, Julian, then take your little trip to the Scarlet Obliette on your little private venture to talk with Galceria and come to what can be summarized as an agreement with Galceria to essentially return his dagger to him to amend wrongs done, right? Right. Everybody okay if
Right.
I
I'm
then...
sorry, I forgot I muted myself.
It's okay.
Yeah, I did exactly that.
Everybody okay if I then flip time forward as you guys all take your long rest, reset your sheets, get half your hit dice, reset your long rest appropriate abilities and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
I just in the morning I will inform Riot and Nia of what I did. I had to talk with Galceria, what I promised him.
Will, did you get a chance to read RP chat by chance?
Which RP chat? Sorry.
Our RP chat in Discord. Did you get a chance to read what, just above the table, what Lorian did with Galceria?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
I did.
Great.
Just so we don't have to repeat it all. Okay.
Yeah.
One more thing, Riot. If you want to, you can use the whip. If you would like to use the whip and then maybe return Ao's spear, if that would be appealing to you.
I feel like it's an interesting thought to be true. It felt very rewarding removing it from the anathema's hands. Thanks to Greep. Perhaps I'll hear what he has to say. See if he's not as perhaps devious as Yaroth. Yarosh.
Yarowish.
Yarowish. God damn it.
It's okay, you'll remember it. It's a new name.
I imagine they'll both have similar inclinations, but they're both still powerful weapons. I imagine that's the reason you're reluctant to give up the spear. But if you have one, don't need both, right?
That is true, and whichever one I do hold on to, I'll do what I can to see if I'm able to purify this from being a betrayer's weapon to be one of the prime deities. Perhaps this whip would suit Melora.
It's a noble venture, noble task. I will wish you best of luck.
But I do ask, as a friend, if I do step too far, do what you can to restrain me.
Okay. I do I spent a lot of time thinking last night before I went to see Galceriad. I don't think we were wrong to defend ourselves in the moment, but I didn't like how it ended. It felt like I was receding to how I was before, you know?
I do understand that. And everything is a cycle. At times we'll have to revert just to survive, but you always have to remember to become who you truly want to be. The spear made me think about everything that I did before I met the group. Those I killed, allowed to die. But I don't really want to be that person again and to fight an instinct that I grew up learning, in a way nurturing. Perhaps it would be dangerous for me to hold on to the spear, with one whispering in my ear to do what I was trained to do at times. Perhaps it would be better to give this back to Ao.
Hopefully she can
She seems-
control it better.
She seems to have.
I mean, that's debatable, but
Well, I mean, that hole in your chest is a little bit different. Well, we'll patch you up, make sure you're all good to go, but perhaps first we should go off to the all-site, check in with,
yeah, we have a meeting to get to.
yeah.
Alright. As the first light of dawn breaks over the ancient city of Ankarel, the tranquil oasis at its heart comes alive with the vibrant hues of the morning sun. It is the 18th of Quen Pilar, 835 post-Divergent. The sprawling desert metropolis, nestled amid the sun-scorched sands, stirs with activity, ushering in a new day of bustling life. In the market district, the aroma of sizzling spices and exotic foods wafts through the air as food vendors set up their various stalls. Merchants arrange their wares, from gleaming magic items to finely crafted jewelry, while griffin handlers groom and tend to their majestic creatures, preparing for another day of travel. Blacksmiths' hammers ring a harmonious cacophony, and street performers begin to tune their instruments, filling the street with the promise of melodies to come. Among the lively scene, a few agile street thieves dart through the crowd, their nimble fingers seeking quick fortunes. In the religious districts where Nia finds herself, the various temples of the gods of Exandria stand as pillars of devotion, their spires reaching toward the sky. Devotees and pilgrims alike make their way to these sacred places, offering prayer and offerings to their chosen deities, their voices rising in harmonious chants that fill the morning air. Amidst the vibrant city, our group of adventurers stirs from their well-earned rest, gets ready. The rising sun casts a warm glow upon their faces as they emerge from their accommodations, whatever those may be. Their spirits rejuvenated and their wounds mended. With purpose in their hearts, they prepare to embark on another day filled with mysteries, challenge, and adventure.
Before...
So
Sorry.
Would you like to? I was just about to ask, what would you like to do? Go for it.
Go ahead, Julian.
I was gonna say, is it okay if I use the dagger, the +1 dagger that Nia had on her? She hasn't seen my message asking if I could get it back. I'm guessing she went to sleep or something.
Was it originally
She's not
yours?
feeling well. It was originally mine.
Take it.
But
The party shares.
okay.
I was going to say what I'll do is I'm going to take the spear and I'm going to put it into the bag of holding before we decide to go anywhere that there's Cobalt Soul or Allegiance of all site members.
Okay.
And Riot will also pick up the Lush of Shadows and put it into the bag of holding as well.
Sure thing.
he will be-
I'm certain you still have space. I'll just ask that you do track that.
I have tons of space. I sold a few things.
Okay. So where would you like to head from? I believe your lodgings in the Scrolls alcove.
Yes, that's where we were in the Scrolls Alcove in the Sigil District.
Yes.
We'll go to the Allegiance of all site, the main building where we first met. Oh crap! I gotta go back in my notes. Grizz, perhaps we can go to the
Sure.
meeting with him.
Sure.
Right. We'll also do a little shimmy shim shim in front of Julian to show that slight disorienting illusion that shows him shifting multiple ways.
All right.
Thank you for letting me sell a few items. If I
Looks
ever go
good.
down, this should be yours.
Hopefully it never comes to that. I'm sure it won't. We've done well so far.
We have by sticking together.
Fair enough. You make your way to where you first met Grizz. The Crystal Chateau and the Terrace Schoolhouse, a combined campus serving the University of Magic here. As you're about to head upstairs, as you head upstairs and you turn the corner and about to head into the office of Grizz Alcatraz and James Creon, you come face to face with two curious individuals. Who wants to introduce their character first? Guys? Mac or
Yeah, I can go
Elaine?
ahead.
Sure thing. So let me put you guys here. Yeah, you guys are already on the page. And Mac, you can take it away. Describe what the characters see.
Yeah, so for you stands a tiefling. He looks around about 6 foot, about 6 foot 3 inches tall. So he is quite a tall fellow. His skin's more tan, so you could see kind of like a almost human-like complexion, but tan from like times in the sun. His hair's long, goes down to around shoulder length. It's just tucked by his ears, raven black. Dressed up in kind of blackened armor, and you can see symbolism of a vulture indicating towards a dusk maven. Yeah, that's all I can really think.
It's good enough for a first impression. What about you? What about you, Elaine?
Standing shorter than his compatriot, standing about 5'2", slim, with a skin that is definitely on the green aquamarine tinge to the tan, slightly red of his companion. Stands a man in half plate, almost resting, although not totally, being very aware of what his double blade scimitar is and how much space it takes whenever willed, along with a hand crossbow on the side. Demeanor calm, although sort of kind of somber. He almost has the 1,000-mile stare. He seems to have seen plenty, but otherwise doesn't seem fazed by a lot of what's going on. It doesn't seem like he could be surprised by much just by first glance, but that may betray the true nature of who he is.
Both individuals seem rather comfortable in these confines. Both have some elements to their garb, marking them as members of the Allegiance of Allside, be they ruined sashes or just simple accents to their clothes, marking them in that greenish uniform color of the Allegiance of Allside. Complete, of course, with a very similar pin that the rest of the party carries, the Allegiance of Allside symbol, a golden pin secured to their chest, complete with an eye above a triangle, very close to the Cobalt Soul symbol, marking them as members of the sister faction. With that being said, the party approaches. If you wish to interact with each other before entering the office, feel free to roleplay that.
Hi there. We're Fate's Fortune.
Good
How
morning.
tall was Celis again?
About 6'2".
Big guy, and then shorty.
Yeah.
You're Are you participating in the same meeting?
Well, we were told to come here, right?
It seems so, yes. I got a letter last night to meet here at dawn. Well, not dawn, but yes.
He just sleep every once in a while.
Are you related to Question?
Oh, related? No. I, like not in. I'm just trying to remember a question as myself. One second.
She's the tiefling that was captured.
Yeah.
You can roll me a history check, and I can aid you with this. Up to your call.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, would I? I'd be familiar with question, would I? At this stage.
Yeah, roll me a history check to see how much I can give you about this individual.
A history, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like your first rule of your character, why not? You being the most scholarly type should be in your strength. You know very well who Question is. Question is a member of the Cobalt Soul. She is both a scholar and a spy agent, and a far traveler to other continents, being sent on various missions on behalf of the Cobalt Soul. She is known by Question because of her virtue name to ask questions about everything. Every sentence is a question with question. Curiosity is in her essence. She keeps a very detailed journal that is not kept by word, but rather by drawings, by sketches. Fun individual to hang out with whenever one visits the Library of Cobalt Soul, which for somebody like you, who is into books and research, is an oft-enough venture in the Cobalt Soul Library. That being said, I don't believe you guys are related.
No.
Only by infernal heritage pipes. That all being said, unless there's anything else you guys wish to exchange words, you'll have a chance to bond in more. This meeting...
I was going to say, Riot,
yeah, go for it.
Riot looks at Celadus. Just remember, you're the tiefling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Riot look at Celadus and notice the matron's colors, and would bow his head towards you and say, "For what it's worth, I've met the one that you serve, or you seem to be connected to. She's very intriguing. She helps me purify a soul that was locked in a cursed blade."
So you have been lucky to be in the presence of the Dust Maven. Not many could say they have.
I must
Lady
say,
is very impressive.
I must say the ritual that one must undergo is not to my liking.
Well, as expected from Nature of Death. Point of order, Turrent. Do you have any markings on your person that sort of mark you as somebody associated with the Raven Queen?
I would have a pendant, but it's probably underneath my...
Fair enough. Not as obvious. Okay.
Yeah.
Julian's eyes widen when he hears the dust Raven mentioned. And, but everything seems chill for the most part, so... He just listens quietly along to the conversation.
After a week of respite... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Will.
I was going to say, perhaps sell this after the meeting and we figure out what's going on. We can talk more about everything, and perhaps the Dust Weaving herself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Of course
if
we
we
can
see
do
each
that.
other again.
Yes. Perhaps we could get a drink.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
There is an uneasy feeling hanging in the air as a bit of awkwardness still lingers as it does when meeting new people, especially when not certain about the purpose at which you are united. But one thing is certain: you are here united by a similar purpose as you are ushered into the office of the headmasters. After a week of respite from your last mission for the allegiance of all sight, you adventurers are summoned with an air of urgency to the hallowed halls of the Crystal Chateau. The meeting takes place within the office of the venerable headmaster, James Cryan. A haughty and elderly elf academic who regards the world through a prism of elitism. Allow me to show you what this individual looks like for those of you who either don't remember or have never met him out of character. James Cryan. Seated beside James is the much more congenial Grizz Alcatraz, a pleasantly surprising short goblin professor known for his more affable demeanor. Grizz. The room is adorned with shimmering arcane crystals and ancient tomes, casting an otherworldly glow, with a grave expression etched upon their faces. The headmasters reveal a dire concern. A double agent is at work, surreptitiously undermining the allegiance of all sides' vital efforts in the submerged ruin of Kalmaro. As they lay out their suspicions, a sense of urgency fills the air, for the secret of Kalmaro holds the key to a perilous balance of power, and so you're called upon to unravel the intricate web of espionage threatening to plunge Unkril into chaos once more. Headmaster James Scrayon features take on a severe gravity as he continues, his tone laced with an air of concern that rarely escapes his lips. "The consortium of the Vermilion Dream," he says. "Those insidious rivals of ours have infiltrated the Allegiance's once secret excavation site within the ancient ruins of Kalmaro. This, dear adventurers, is a dire breach of security." Grizz Alcatraz, the Goblin Professor, takes up the narrative with an empathetic glint in his eyes. "Worse yet, our intelligence suggests the presence of a double agent masquerading amidst our very own archaeological team. This traitor's allegiance lies with the consortium, and their primary objective appears to be locating and smuggling ruidium." A hushed silence fills the room as the name ruidium hangs in the heavy air. Both headmasters share a glance, recognizing the magnitude of the situation. "Ruidium," says James, "is a newfound crimson-hued substance we've unearthed within Kalmaro's depths. Its magical potency is undeniable, but its inherent danger cannot be overstated. It possesses the sinister capacity to corrupt and spread to both biological and mundane material alike. The consortium's motives for obtaining this enigmatic substance remain a mystery, but it is imperative that we thwart their efforts before the balance of power in this realm is irrevocably disrupted." And with that, the headmasters implore you to embark on this perilous mission, to root out the double agent, safeguard Ruidium, and secure the future of the allegiance of all sites of invaluable archaeological pursuits. Have you anything to say?
Certainly sounds urgent. Can you give us time to prepare?
How much time do you need? I would very much urge you to see to it that this is all done within a week's time, for time is of the essence.
We can
A
leave.
week is
Perhaps
more than enough.
we can perhaps leave tomorrow morning. Head on down. We have some things to do in town, and I need to pick up a friend of mine, and we also need to recruit 2 more people for our party. We are down to. Do you have any insight in perhaps 2 people that might be able to stand forward and fill the gaps that we have currently in our party?
My dear Tabaxi friend, you stand in their very midst at this very moment. May I introduce Terrant and Seldris, if you haven't met already. These loyal agents of the Allegiance shall aid you in this very mission. They have been very much useful in the last few weeks as is. Go for it.
I just said hi.
We had brief introductions outside. Although, do we have any idea of who's part of the excavation team may be the culprit, who is the double agent?
I mean, by very nature. Yeah, go for it.
I have a question.
So did Mac.
When originally,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead, Mac.
Well, well, who is the double agent? By very nature, the nature of a double agent is that they're secretive, so they're not sure. That is the test they're bringing onto you to root out this double agent. Somebody amid their archaeological team. Yeah.
I was going to bring up that when Fate's Fortune originally brought back the Ruidium elephant that you sent us for, there was a halfling that handed it to Professor Limey Whist, the one that we actually put under custody as being a double agent for the Vermilion Dream. He was there acting extremely nervous when we first handed him in. Have you seen him anywhere on the grounds?
He works in our offices, we can look into him, but he is of no immediate concern to us, for this double agent we suspect acts in the excavation team below. The individual you speak of has no dealings in excavation itself.
He might be one of the people up top, though, that allow him to help get the Ruidium up without being noticed.
Understood. Professor Octrus and I will do our utmost to work upon our team on the surface to filter those out. But we cannot be disposed to deal with those below. That task falls onto you.
Gladly. And we will head down there as soon as we can.
Once we find out that double agent, what's to be done with them?
I trust your judgment on that. Grim as it may, it might come to blows, and should that happen, you are authorized to use lethal force. Of course, that must not be the ultimate solution. Should you see them arrested and brought to the Scarlet Oblit below the Cerulean Palace for judgment, I'm sure Jamon Sword shall oversee their judgment be done. Although, do not risk capture yourselves, and do not risk the agent escaping. Lives can be lost in the process. If it comes down to it, do what you must. Implying that, kill them if you have to.
I'm sure it won't come down to it. We're more than capable. We get shit done.
Riot's gonna whisper to Julian in his ears, like, are you sure with our track record?
What is an adventure, Riot?
Absolutely.
Going into the unknown and having unknown results.
Precisely. An adventurer is one who imposes their will onto the world through violence. So we trust you to make the best judgments in that call, for you have the authority to do just that. Best of luck to you.
You're behind us 100% of the way.
Alright, come, ladies and gentlemen of esteemed curiosity, you stand before an opportunity to embark upon an intellectual, prodigious expedition of unparalleled consequence. Anyway, this is the familiar voice of Prolix as he sort of waves you guys over toward like a headboard at the side of the room and unveils a tapestry before you. Behold, Kalbaro, submerged elven metropolis, ensconced beneath the sands of Ankarel, veiled within an aquafarous embrace of its cisterns. The subterranean sanctum harbors not only spectral apparitions, spirits and ghosts and the like, but also, intriguingly, a benthic ecosystem teeming with belligerent marine fauna. Yet, my erudite colleagues, it is the treasure trove of enigmatic thaumaturgic arcane concealed within Kalmaro's liquid enigma that tantalizes the most erudite of minds among us, as we commence our odyssey into the sublime depths of both history and mysticism, ready to unveil the hallowed mysteries that lie enshrouded in its aqueous embrace. And with that, Headmaster James Creon nods, his keen eyes assuring you of clarity. To commence this crucial mission, you shall enter Kalmaro through the Moss site, situated in the northern edge of the Sigil District. Your badges, marked with the emblem of the Allegiance, will serve as both your credentials and your passage within the excavation site itself. Grizz. Yeah, go for it. I was just waiting to see if anybody says anything. Go for it.
Well, that's fantastic. We've already been there once before and took a glance in, though we
Mhm.
didn't realize we weren't supposed to at the time. But I was wondering for this endeavor, is it possible to get a couple of health potions?
I suppose we could spare one or two. We will look into it. Hmm.
That would be fantastic. Thank you. Ours
He-
were a little depleted when we rooted out the cult.
He's been earnest because, as a member of the allegiance, you are privy to certain supplies of the allegiance, so he will earnestly look into that. But late in voice, he continues, "What's within Kalmaro, make your way to the allegiance of Allsight's base camp, where you will rendezvous with a certain Professor Insight Aquere, a seasoned archaeologist. Aquere leads the current expedition and can provide valuable insights into the situation, if you will." The name, here you go, for those of you who take notes. Then Headmaster Creon concludes with a somber tone. Your primary objective is to explore Kalmaro, identify and capture or eliminate the consortium spy. Time is of the essence, and we implore you to return with your findings within 7 days' time. In return for your service, the Allegiance of Fallside offers a reward of 1,000 gold pieces, and should you succeed, continued access to Kalmaro for as long as you remain esteemed members of our scholarly organization. Have you
course, we
any
won't fail you.
questions? Yeah. You won't fail us. That is good to hear. Have you any questions?
Alain, to the DM, how detailed is the map that is currently presented to us? Is it just like a map of the city to indicate where to go in, type of thing, or is that some of the upper levels of Kamaro?
It looks like this tapestry that you speak of. It looks like less like a map, more like a artistic representation of Ankarel, the city itself, with details that some places you recognize, like the palace, the market district, the religious district, and then below it, sort of the spiraling staircase that leads down from the mall to Ankarel. It's more like an artistic depiction than a map. Perhaps you'll be able to find something along those lines below. We'll see. But yeah.
Okay.
You're assured that in order to find this base camp to speak of, it is a direct link from the mall to the base camp. Yes.
Okay. It's just if it was more detailed, then I would have paid attention to try to memorize it as much as possible.
Okay, fair enough. I will take that as of note as you take on certain. I think even artistic details will help you recognize certain architecture or like landmarks. I will take that note. I believe, Riot, you also have some sort of a similar benefit of having glimpsed the temple, for example, as a landmark.
Yeah.
So I'll take those both memories into mind for future events. All right, the future of our knowledge reserved and the safety of Ankarel's rest upon your shoulders, brave adventurers. Go forth and uphold the legacy of the allegiance with honor and diligence. And with these words, your mission is set, and the fate of Kalmaro lies in your capable hands. Unless you have any lingering questions to ask the headmasters, you are free to do as you will.
Riot's going to look at Celadus and Torrent and be like, well, maybe we can get that early drink and have a discussion and figure out everybody's strengths and weaknesses.
Seems like we can, yes.
Weaknesses? Who has weaknesses?
Oh, we all do. But later this afternoon, we're going to be meeting a group of people that we are on neutral terms with currently. We're just trying to make them better. There have been our rivals thus far. If you guys wish to tag along, you may. It might not be pleasant.
Optimistic word, but hopefully we can get there, I guess.
Well, that's all we can be is optimistic. But my sister hopefully will drop by with a little pet of mine, a little companion called Starlight. I'm going to be sending her off a little animal messenger and see if she can meet us somewhere. But if we would like to test our metal, Riot will pull down his collar a little bit, or actually he'll snap his fingers and actually drop his illusion that he currently has on all of his armor. And before you stands a gray, black and white, a gray main color, black streaks through his fur, and a white throat down to his belly, essentially tabaxi. But his entire armor is of hardened bug shell armor that when he moves, it sounds like crickets. He looks rather well armed because he also has a bulwark hooked around his back currently, which no one saw beforehand because he had a cloak of many fashions covering his visage. Visage, thank you.
I think that means just
but
face, but I think it like disguises your entire body head to toe. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's everything he has on.
Nice.
Currently, he was looking like Aladdin, by the way, before he became a prince. He would tap a necklace on his chest. This is called the Raven's Slumber. There is a creature inside. No idea what it is, but I would like to have it exit the medallion so I could make room for my little companion. If you guys are up for a little bit of fun, we could see what it is, and if it's something we need to remove from this world, we can do so.
It's interesting. Not scared that it could be something that cannot be tackled?
Celos does kind of inch just a little closer, have a look at the medallion. Is there like runes or anything on it?
It looks like this. Raven's Slumber. Here you go, my friend.
I mean, whatever's in it can't be that big.
It's whatever was controlling the bear rug that was attacking us when we were in the house. Pretty sure.
Well, before we do anything too active, Celos, Torrent, what do you guys have prepared on you? I'm sure we could maybe share some of our gear with you. Some of the things that we've collected.
I was going to say, it looked like Torrent there had a double scimitar. We have one that was purified by the Dust Maven, if you would like that one instead.
Really?
It's,
Those are rare to say the least.
we found it in Bazozan. It was the creature that we were hunting ended up killing my ride, my mount. And I took it out of anger and used it for a while, but I'm not skilled with it as perhaps other people are, and I would gladly pass it off to you since you're joining our party.
I can give it a go and see how balanced it is and everything. Sure. I don't want to deprive the group of anything of your findings.
You're becoming one of us now. It's only fair that we share what we currently have and are not using.
You're going to be working with us now. We're going to be sharing rewards. It also makes sense to share our preparations.
So it seems our fates are entwined.
Our Rye will look at Julian. Do you have the ring?
Which one? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Ring of Red Fury.
Yeah.
I'll present it and say this ring, it'll make you stronger. It'll make you stronger temporarily, but it is infused with ruidium. There's a risk to using it. But it is also possible to simply wear the ring and not use its ability. It'll allow you to breathe and swim underwater, which is going to be needed for Calmarao.
Oh, that may actually come in handy for me. Where the strength part doesn't. Well, doesn't really make much of a difference, but oh.
Unless
Possibly.
somebody goes after you and tries to pin you.
Even
True.
if
But I guess the breathing and swimming in with that would be very helpful.
Water breathing. We're
even
not
if
gonna have.
you're
One time, guys.
my bad.
Right
I
first.
was just gonna say, water breathing is not going to be an issue since I can cast it as a ritual and give it to everybody for 24 hours, and I will be doing that since I don't have a ruidium item on myself.
I don't need any external stuff.
Mm-hmm. Very much
I
evident by your race,
Bring
yes.
I bring the edge of my half plate down slightly, and you see some gills on the side of his neck.
Ooh. What?
Interesting.
Yep.
Where are you from?
Oh, a whole little archipelago, just actually way away from here. It's in the
Wow.
Osmic Sea.
Those of
Wow,
you,
if you know,
those of you in position for world map can open it and see he's talking about. Let's see here. If we are over here in Acarel Marquette, he's talking about the other side of the world.
Yeah, right here.
Wow,
oh
you're
damn,
from far away.
Basically, right under the D, I think, is where the
Yes.
archipelago is.
well, if you know any
Mhm.
interesting, strong beasts of the sea, and you could find a picture of them, and maybe I can figure out that a good form to change myself into while I'm down there. That might be of use. I don't know many sea creatures.
Oh, well, how descriptive does it have to be? Can it be just an image?
Tom.
He has to be familiar with it. It's
Oh.
so descriptive, such a good image, such a good, rich description that he can embody its essence. Usually, druids spend, touch distance time with an animal to really study them, their behaviors and such, and be granted their essence. But it's in your hands if you'll be descriptive enough. If you're gonna draw like a stick figure like Tiger, oh my god, that's,
There's a head, there's a circle.
yeah.
I use my tattoo, present my hand,
There
and
you go.
try to make the design of a piranha, almost stepping out almost like a 3D relief version, but obviously it's a flat one, but it's in the palm of my hand, and I show that something like this.
On the almost pearlescent skin of the sea elf, which seems to shimmer and wave as if swimming across the water surface, a realistic depiction of this quipper-like creature with razor-sharp teeth and a fanged maw. Perhaps a useful creature should you wish to be more subtle. The rat, if you will, of the underwater realm.
Right, we'll chase.
Yes.
Go ahead.
That would be a proper likeness, not necessarily that particular creature, but and then the color dissipates back underneath the arms, underneath the.
Is there like a default shape that the moving tattoo takes on your arm, like whenever it's at rest?
It actually comes as the tattoo of the symbol of the Ashari
Nice, which is
on my left shoulder. 2 triangles, or like 4 triangles, but 2 by 2 type of thing. Looks like an hourglass.
yeah, like the alchemical symbol. I remember it. Yeah. It's this, guys. Just for the sake of some people can imagine in their heads. Other people need like a visual aid, so like it's this.
Yeah, but it is underneath my sleeve, so it's not really shown.
Yes, fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Alrighty. So that's the homeland of the creature. That being said, right, rest assured that as a druid, you can become familiar with native fauna as well, right? So,
yeah,
no loss there. Anyway,
I just know that since Ryan's never really been in the water because of his innate fear of it, having shape shifting or even being able to polymorph into water creatures is a little bit out of his purview. Totally, I would say.
something you'll have to get over.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun for people.
If you say so. It's a fear you'll have to get over where we're headed. Otherwise,
no.
otherwise it's going to be a huge liability. But I'm sure you will sort yourself out. We are currently located in the Sigil District in the sort of campus, the various universities and schoolhouses here. Some of them offering free education to the people, those who wish to pursue magic, even simple cantrips. Children, teenagers, and the like. Two elderly wizards and sages traveled halfway across the world to study in the very prestigious Crystal Chateau, which I've shown recently, where Zelda's studies. But the city is your oyster. You mentioned you want to do things before you want to go to the mall. What was that?
I wanted to get rid of the creature that's in the Raven Slumber.
Okay.
Contact my sister to bring Starlight. So Starlight can be with Riot.
So which one are you doing first, right?
Getting rid of the creature that's in the Raven Slumber first.
Okay. Is the party ready?
Yep.
Out of character, did you guys decide what magic items you wanted? Could we fast forward that part?
I'll take the scimitar. I'll take
It's
the double.
only the ring you've got.
Yeah, we got the ring. There's a. I remember some people talked about items.
So
Riot will have taken the amulet for now. And Bonix, I just noticed Julian did message me about that.
So you'll find, I believe, there's a +1 version of the double-bladed scimitar or whatever it's called, blade.
Yep.
There's a +1 version. That's what it is essentially. Now that it's been freed from the spirit, you can tell that you said it's a rare weapon, and it is of elvish make. Various parts of the world, be they drow or high elves, forest elves, and such, craft their own version of this ancient weapon. Very rare to forge one. This one seems to be of Kryn dynasty origin, the light Luxon drow, but and seem to have served as a weapon of the Kryn dynasty's army at one point. Perhaps as a family heirloom from the elvish script upon it. Other than that, its enchantment still holds, even after all these years.
Do either one of you want a cloak of protection?
Sure. But
You only have one.
that may serve you better, friend.
He's already wearing a cloak.
Zeldos, what do you think?
Yeah. It's just standard cloak of protection.
Yeah, +1.
Right now, the ring may be a bit more handy just for the breathe underwater and the swim speed. So, at least as a temporary thing just for now, just to cover that area. Because you
Sure.
did say you can do the ritual, but wouldn't that disappear if you went unconscious?
No,
No.
Oh, would it not? I thought it would.
I believe it lasts 24 hours because it's not concentration or anything. Yeah.
Oh, my ability? No, it's not concentration.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It won't disappear if you are rendered unconscious. Yes,
Yeah.
it will
That's
disappear.
also-
It will disappear if it's like dispelled by something, or for example. But
Yes, they still swim speed, use of weapons. That kind of makes sense to have that.
yeah, your call.
Although, the spell you're talking about, right, that doesn't give us a swim speed, right? It only gives us underwater breathing.
Correct.
Just gives underwater breathing.
Right. Different things.
I'll probably have to change into some sort of fish animal to be able to go through the water.
So yeah, I'll take the ring for now, because it'll just kind of cover both.
You have any other magic items?
I've got a +1 half plate.
Okay.
Well, you could take the cloak as well, because you could have multiple magic items for yourself at once.
Yeah, it's just a matter of the attunement slots.
Try to remember, is it? How
Well,
many
also-
once again, it's free, right?
3 max. Yeah.
3, yeah.
Also, you can't wear more than one of the same kind of item. That's why Riot
Yeah.
can't wear the cloak.
Yeah. I already got a ring of protection.
It's cold.
Point further about magic items and potions and such. While the Allegiance will not supply you with free potions because I'm not gonna give you free shit, you have gold. You've earned it. You're adventurers. You want, in retrospect, while you were shopping around in the Magic Emporium, to grab a 1 or 2 healing potions, right? Or anybody with the gold you have on hand.
Possible to get better things better than a standard healing potion?
50 gold pieces per.
Actually, Right, you have the ability to upgrade them, right?
Correct.
I do. I was actually going to even say that I noticed that we have 2 greater healing potions in
You sure do.
the bag of holding. I was going to say I would like to keep one for myself, but I can upgrade 2. It only costs me,
Time and money.
75 gold.
Yeah, you
Was
figure
it?
out on your end. I will allow you to just deduct gold on your sheet and add it to your inventory.
Okay.
Just so we're not taking any more session time on minute detail like that. But yeah.
If you
Okay.
need
I do
gold,
have-
I can provide some of the funding.
Mm-hmm.
I have some right now. I know we can talk about it later, but I'll probably have to figure out something for swim speed for myself because I have none. But I have some gold on me currently to actually upgrade both of these potions to make them a little bit stronger for us. But I use most of mine to get my fancy little cape.
Okay. For now, I'll take the ring and cloak, and I'll just tune it in for now. And
Perfect. And I have the jewel of 3 players.
Okay, just trying to remember how I add the +1 on without breaking things. I'm just settings.
The task will take you hours, my friend. You're aware of that, right? Just
So I,
no, I'm just saying. Just telling Riot the task of upgrading potions will take you hours. Just by the way. Okay.
I'll do it while I sleep.
Well,
Long rest.
we just
long
woke up.
rest.
It's just morning.
Yeah, I mean tomorrow before we go to Kalmaro. Come on, man, keep up with the time.
I am keeping up with the time. I'm counting down the days. Trust me, I'm keeping up with the time. Remember what I told you. The world keeps revolving. You're gonna take a day. Everybody else is gonna be achieving stuff in the background. But sure thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you guys want to bamf this thing out now? We'll go to a quiet area so we're not in the middle of the sigil district in case it causes mayhem.
That
Yeah.
probably would be better for the people involved, yes.
Where do you head?
probably a good idea.
Well, we can always head over to where the alluvium area by the river district, where it's the plain fields. We can just pop one out in the plain fields. Won't
Sure.
hurt anybody.
You find a desolate place by the Life Dome somewhere around this area. What do you do? What does Riot do? He has the Raven's Call in his hand. Raven's Slumber.
Riot will stand in the middle with whoever is post combat or anything. We probably will want to be close to him, and he'll look down at the Raven's Slumber and point it out and say, "Release."
Okay. As you push your will through the object, it begins to glow, and for just a moment hovers above your hand, maybe like an inch above your skin, and then shoots out like a bolt of lightning, almost like a Pokemon opening toward the ground, and with an arcane explosion, a bit of coin flies in all various directions, like silver pieces here and there. A little silver bracelet clinks across the glass, and then something thuds onto the grass. And you see on a heap of small coins and maybe a few tiny gems is this creature surrounded by an area of spectral floating hands. The snake hisses, annoyed at you. Its many hands forming various degrees of fists ready for combat to rude gestures at you.
It was part of the cult that one of the ladies that here, or the lady of the house.
Looks like a special snake.
It does. It looks like perhaps a dangerous snake.
It's kind of the sound when someone gave us snake hands.
Somebody who really had too much time on their hand.
Everybody take 1d4 psychic damage from a pun. I'm just kidding.
Oh, right.
You think Gilmore would want to keep it?
It's possible. Gilmore might like it. Have a little bit of a pet.
Does Turn have anything to
Can I
say
try
about
to-
this? Just so we're not talking over each other, does Turn have anything to say about this creature?
What kind? Have I seen this before?
Room in Arcana check.
Is this Fey or Fiend?
It's a monstrosity.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't. Actually, I think it does fit.
You think Fae, Fiends, and Celestials is what you're
So
good at tracking.
it's gonna be a normal roll.
Yeah. While many Fae, Fiends, and even some versions of Undead, surprisingly, in a world of magic, do have the ability to form themselves into a serpentine form, this Ophidian creature is a simple snake for what it looks like that has been enchanted by some sorcerer, mage, or one other to have a upgraded mage hand spell upon it cast 100 times over. The spectral hands floating all around it at the control of the snake itself. From what you've gathered, the purpose of this creature could suit as a little thief to pilfer objects here or there, or serve as a distraction to whatever masters served before this.
I'm gonna grab it.
This seems to have been a creature to help more than anything else. Like, probably more on the shady side, grab things that are not theirs to begin with.
Are you going to try having a pet now, Lorian?
No, I'm just grabbing it.
Okay, roll me a dexterity check, please.
Can this be sleight of hand? Or is it straight to dexterity?
How are you sleight of handing this?
Well, I imagine that it's kind of like a slippery thing that you need to grab, and so there's like precise movements that I need to make, sort of to.
I understand, but sleight of hand is like skillful deception. It's like the skills of performing a trick, right?
Gotcha.
Like hiding cards or like anything like that, to hide a coin in your wrist. So that's why I'm asking how you sleight of handing this. You can roll me a dexterity check, which is
Can I
pretty
like feign going in one direction and then actually going the other to try and grab him?
Sure, you can roll sleight of hand. Go for it. It's going to be contested by its dexterity. Natural 1.
Well, it's impossible for me to not be.
You shriek it, it tries to dodge for a moment, letting out a very quick hiss before you grab it by the tail and wrap it around your hand, and you have it grappled in your grasp. And then you roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh shit!
As you've grappled the snake itself, but not the hundreds of mage hands floating around it. You take 3d6 bludgeoning damage in the process. But you have the grapple in your grasp. You take 9 bludgeoning damage.
How you doing there, Julian?
You're knocked prone on your ass.
This thing's tougher than it looks.
Well, do you want to keep it?
No, I don't want to keep it.
It is as easy as releasing it into the wilds, if you so wish.
Or did you want to recapture it, or try to recapture it, and then we'll release it somewhere where we know it will be useful?
And I like hit it with like the pommel of my dagger.
Only if you answer Turn's question first.
I'm sorry, what would you say?
Yeah, exactly. Let's form good habits, guys.
Where would you like to release it?
Well, it all depends. Didn't you say there was somebody that could be interested in these kind of things?
Yeah, I was thinking that Gilmore would want it, but we can't exactly carry it over to Gilmore while it's punching us.
Well, what Torin said is I should try recapturing it and then take it to him.
I honestly do think that would be a better idea than releasing something like this into the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Julian, what's your passive perception?
It's not 24. It is 14.
Oh, he beats mine.
Can you roll me a d10?
Oh, he's stealing something.
Where can a snake even hide anything?
Carry on.
Okay. I guess I'll try to recapture it then. And then we'll see if we can take it to Gilmore. Crap, I gotta reread the... Wait, I'm thinking, do I have to touch it? There it is.
Familiar yourself with the item you want to use. That's probably for the best.
Yeah, On a hit. Yeah, the target must see it. All right, Riot will run over to it and keeping staying back will hit it with the Raven's slumber and bounce back.
It does have a
So
very
it's
short
and-
hiss and then flashes into an area of purples and blues before being sucked back into the item. I believe it has to rule a wisdom save, actually, if it's unwilling,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
It does not beat it. You retreat
No,
it
it's
back into the
10.
item. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see what there is here that was dropped. I'm sure there was just a few coins and bracelets. I'm sure you can give us a little bit of rundown what that might be later. But we got a little bit of loot from it.
So, as you retrieve it and it sort of spaghettis itself into the gemstone, you hear clink as something silver just kind of sails across the air and an arc catches the glint of the morning sun and then lands in the grass rather. Julian, you look, it's the ring of the fair folk.
Whoa! What?
You
This
look,
thing
at
took my ring.
you look at your finger and there's like a nice tan line there, like where it's missing.
I can tan.
Drows can tan. Yeah, they don't spend a day in the sun. Of course they can tan. They tan the fastest, in fact. Yeah.
Uh.
They turn pink like crabs. Can.
Holy shit! I can't believe this bastard grabbed that.
Yeah.
Let's pick up the loot that's down here on the ground, the coins and the bracelets. And let's go over to Gilmore's and see if he wants this fantastic creature.
Was that loot actually in there? I think that's just part of the picture.
No,
Oh,
he
so
did
the-
say there was noise of coins as it was coming
It's a
out.
fair bit of like silver pieces, and there's like a silver circlet. It's like genuine treasure that was kept with it as part of its like confines that just sort of dragged with it. But
Oh, okay.
We'll scoop it up and we'll divvy it up after.
sure, you pick up like a small stash of like 60 silver pieces.
I do love the fact this little Ravens thing is actually a Pokeball.
Yeah.
And a silver bracelet. Okay. Alright, let's go to Gilmore real quick. Have you guys seen Gilmore sell this in Torrent?
Okay. Is he like a tallish fellow? Very tan skin with a goatee. He's very present.
I would say so, yes. Very, very flamboyant and boisterous.
He's a fun guy to be around. He always gives me great deals.
Ah, okay.
You mean you rip him off?
No, he gives me great deals.
yeah, you do. So
We'll make our way to Gilmore.
Gilmore's, all right. Fair enough. Let's do shopping so we don't have to do it in session. All right. Gilmore's Glorious Goods, then.
Technically, this is selling. That's different.
That's all right. Gilmore's Glorious Good is a spectacle of opulence and elegance. The shop is adorned with elaborate chandeliers that bathe the space in a warm, inviting light. Shelves and display cases are filled with an eclectic array of magical items, artwork, and curiosities from across Exandria. The shop's decor is harmonious, a harmonious blend of like vibrant colors and luxurious textures. The polished wooden floor reflects the sheen of fine carpets and velvet drapes that add an extra layer of richness to the atmosphere. Each display is meticulously arranged to showcase the items within, making it a delight for the eyes. Price tags, though substantial, are often accompanied by lavish descriptions written in that elegant calligraphy of Gilmore himself. Gilmore himself, resplendent in his richly embroidered attire, stands ready to assist customers with a warm smile and a charming demeanor. Gilmore. He exudes an air of sophistication, ever the consummate salesman, and his knowledge of wares he offers is extensive. As customers explore the shop's enchanted wares, you enter. You might find lost yourselves lost in this enchanting world of magical items, those of you who've never been in this tent before. But Gilmore's melodious voice guides you toward the front desk. Ah, my friends! Come in, darlings, come in. How can I help you?
Actually, we might be able to help you, Gilmore.
Ooh.
We have a very interesting, slithery friend for maybe you. It has multiple
Hey,
mage
Gilmore.
hands.
Phrasing, my friend. What have you got for me?
Well, Torrent, you knew what this creature was?
Yes, yes. It is a snake that seems to have a lot of mage hands on it.
Oh, what a riveting name. A snake of many mage hands. I could come up with something better. Surely I can. You were looking to sell this
very
creature to me? Oh, it
Yeah.
is.
It has a habit that you might enjoy, but maybe you can break it. It likes to pick things up and hold on to them. So just a warning on that.
I suppose a small bubble of anti-magic sphere shall contain it until I find uses for it and a buyer. Name a price.
Julian, what do you think is fair? Sell this torrent? Do you guys have an idea?
Snake with a bunch of mage hands permanently casted around it. I imagine it could make a very useful familiar. Not even a familiar, it's always around.
Oh, honey, you've already sold it to me. I am just looking for a price. For this viper of multitudes.
How much is like a snake? And how much is the idea of
No
being
idea.
able
This
to
is just
carry
not any snake. I would just simply not ask you to request of me 10 gold pieces for a simple snake. I want a
Well.
measure of what you think the snake is worth to me.
Perhaps a trade would actually be useful.
I'm
You
listening.
have a few items that are of worth.
I sure do,
Um,
Cryet. I sure do. Let me fetch that real quick for you.
You have the flippers, but do you have to attune to those flippers, or do they just let you swim without being attuned?
We're specific. The slippers.
Yeah. No, the
the
fins.
sea wagon.
The Sahel. Okay. Ah, yes. I see. Hold on. Let me just look them up real quick. I see you have a taste for subtlety. These are the oceanic striped foot guards. Sleek, elegant, but brimming with aquatic charm. Did everybody get a chance to read the RP chat, so I don't have to go over this information of what this item does?
Yeah, it gives you movement speed. I'm just wondering if you have to attune to it.
I believe. Sorry, didn't expect chopping, so let me just look it up.
No worries.
Griffin saddlebag, my good friend Griffin. Give me your item details. This episode is sponsored by Griffin Saddlebag. I wish he sponsored me. He's such a great item maker. They do not require any attunement. No.
Oh, perfect.
Swim speed of 30, or if you already have swim speed, they increase your swim speed by 15.
Perhaps
That sounds like a
that-
fair trade. The
will-
snake with 100 mage hands for the slippers.
I consider myself a businessman that is both giving and successful. I would ask for a small bit of gold to make the difference. The snake and 100 pieces.
deal.
Sure.
It is consider the snake a form of a discount. Yeah, and consider me a friend in your future endeavors to pursue and peruse more magic items. Pleasure doing business with you as always, my darlings. Oh, come here, you slithering. Where is it?
Get ready with your anti-magic. How about this?
Oh, on the
Right,
count
well-
of 3 then. Alrighty. Just right here on the desk. 1,
1,
2, 3.
Release.
And you see a bubble of purple energy just encapsulate the snake immediately and popping a few of the mage hands to squish the snake, to just concentrate it within this mass of ethereal hands, just like immobilize it. And it's like, oh, quite the feisty fella, lovely. And he just bubbles it away and pops it toward the back of the shop. And then plops down the pair of Sahogan. How do you pronounce that?
Sawagin?
Sawagin, yeah. Sawagin Sabatons, which looks like this. I will make a handout for them, but yeah. I will make a handout for them, but for anybody who needs the specification, they're in chat. If you give 100 gold pieces more, they're all yours. Massive
I
discount.
already deducted it. I deducted it already.
Sounds good. Enjoy that drink, my friend. That
Drink?
sounds- Wow, I sold a steak for 900 gold pieces. I just realized that's fair. I'm a man of my word. That's fine. This is why I hate doing like live shopping, because I'm like, I'm juggling all this, and like I didn't look at the price. It's fine. It's fine. You guys gave him so much business that he's more than happy to give you a little bit of a freebie here. Enjoy.
Gilmore is my favorite shop. You know, I always come to Gilmore when I want anything.
Well, I just came and dropped $13,000 or 13,000 gold on
Precisely.
this cloak here.
A small discount is fine.
But this would solve my problem for swimming, because you guys both have ability to swim
true.
with your items.
Can I interest you boys in anything else?
I think we're good, right?
I think we are. I think maybe Naya might be interested in the chapel lantern, but we can ask her later.
So I
I
will
don't
be
have-
expecting her whenever she does arrive. If you excuse me, there's a small child in my shop I must see to. I will be right with you. And he walks away to fetch a child that walked into his store. Don't
Alright,
touch that. That's super enchanted. As a child lives like a +3 great axe. Just
Oh no!
yeah. Yeah.
It is the sun is getting high in the sky. It's about time we go to first eclipse.
I thought you said it's about time we go to sleep.
Nah.
All right.
Alrighty.
Let's get this moving then. Anybody for any reason needs any potions or anything from Gilmore's before we carry on? Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Sorry, when
Of course.
Riot put the 100 gold on the counter to pay for the Sawagin's
Yes.
foot, Torrent just looked at his belt pouch, jiggles it a bit, and realizes how light it is.
Treasures await
Yeah,
in adventure.
it's like, wow, okay, that was, you know,
Yes, this party spends left and right. Yeah. I learned a quick lesson to never give him an 8th level spell scroll ever again. I read a lot of homebrew. To give you context, I read a lot of homebrew about how much an 8th level spell scroll was worth, and I end up giving them like something like almost 30,000 gold pieces at the beginning of this campaign. I was like, this was a mistake, but it was fun. Anyways, you guys make it your way toward like the Suncut Bazaar and the first eclipse, right?
Riot would quickly,
Yeah.
during that time, would send off a ritual and do animal messenger to Silver to bring
To the first
Starlight.
eclipse.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Noted. The bustling setting of Ankarel stretches out before Fate's Fortune as they weave through the labyrinthine streets. As you make your way through the crowded thoroughfares, you notice the colorful banners and flags that herald your approach to the Suncut Bazaar, the heart of commerce in the city. I believe I even have a nice picture in player art handouts for the Suncut Bazaar. It's such a beautiful place on Corel. I just want to share it real quick. There it is. That's nice. The midday sun casts a warm and inviting glow over the bazaar, highlighting the vivid tapestries and cloth draperies that provide shade to the bustling streets. The scent of exotic spice and freshly cooked food wafts through the air, enticing you with promise of savory meals. The market stalls lined streets, offering a dazzling array of wares. You see like intricately crafted artisan goods and mystical trinkets all throughout. As you near your destination, the district's architecture shifts to that of the first eclipse. As it comes to view, its maroon stone walls and ash-black door stand in stark contrast to the glimmering Lux Ron Casino across the street. I'm looking at time here, guys. Before I proceed, it is 7:45. Do we want to take a quick 5-minute break? I will get some water as well, and we'll carry on in just a moment.
I'd be up for that.
Yeah.
I'll put the dog out.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
In 5?
Yeah, 5 seems fair. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get water and I'll sit back now.
Okay.
All right, Ian. Oh, water.
Back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for everybody to come back as well.
Oh, good.
Just goes to show, doesn't matter how much you do prep, doesn't matter. If you have 30 pages ready for the adventure, the party will always surprise you with alternative routes.
Yep.
Just gotta battle with it. We waiting for anybody else? That's a stupid question. Whoever's not here is not gonna answer. Right, still letting out a dog, I'm guessing. So we are in the Suncut Bazaar, which puts us here in the first eclipse. So just for context, for those of you curious, the view at this time of day of the Lux Run Casino is thus. This is what's across the street from you guys. A grandiose, like 3-story casino, world renowned. Those of you who spent like a few months in Ankarel would have certainly heard about it. Good place to make coin or lose it all, as well as make connections if you know what you're seeking. With that in mind, I'm going to prep us with a little background for your destination. There we go. Suncut Bazaar. I can have this small just for reference. I figured I'm going to change the format of sessions a little bit, where I'm not going to focus on battle maps if we're not in battle. If we're in battle, I'll load up the battle maps and tokens and everything, but otherwise I'll just put a little scenery narrate and have the theater of the mind sort of work its magic rather than trying to fiddle with Roll20's like everything. That used to get in the way of my DMing a little bit. Ride, is that you?
I'm back. Yep, I'm back.
So we have Ride, we have Julian, we have that. Mac, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so carrying on as I was narrating before, you arrive at a Suncut Bazaar. Across the street is the view of the aforementioned casino, but your destination lies ahead as you reach the tavern its entrance, you push the heavy ash black door of the first eclipse, and it swings open with a creak. And you enter. Mm-hmm. The view before you is thus. Ooh. The view before you is a little bit less square. There we go. Let's enlarge that for you to see the interior of this place. I'm gonna put some Ankarel music in the background, why not? Marquette. Where's my Ankarel playlist? It helps me narrate better. There we go. You enter the tavern. Inside, you find yourselves in a dimly lit and cozy space that feels like a refuge from the busy street outside. Old ale barrels have been cleverly repurposed into tables, their tops covered with various painted lids from ales, wines, and liqueurs collected from across Exandria. The back wall of the tavern is adorned with these colorful cask lids, each one a testament to the diverse libations that have passed through the establishment. The warm ambiance of First Eclipse is further enhanced by the soft glow of candlelight that dances atop each table, casting that flickering shadow effect on the maroon stone walls. A few patrons sit at tables, engaged in hushed conversation and sipping on mugs of ale. The air is filled with the faint aroma of seasoned meats and roasted vegetables, enticing you to indulge in a hearty meal should you wish for lunch. Do any of you characters have a passive perception of 20 or more?
Nope.
I think Riot is like 23, if I remember correctly.
Is it? Will, if are you muted or something? What's up?
I was muted. Yeah, sorry. I was talking to the
What's your
lady.
passive perception?
23.
Okay, check chat. As you notice that, Riot, the proprietor of the First Eclipse stands behind the bar, attending to the patrons with a welcoming smile. He is a tall, imposing blue dragonborn with sapphire scales that shimmer in the low light. His draconic heritage is evident in the sharp, angular features of his face and the intricate tattoos that adorn his arms. Despite his imposing appearance, he exudes an air of charisma and charm that puts you at ease. What would you like to do, Fate's Fortune?
I'll walk over to the Dragonborn.
Okay, anybody joining Julian in that endeavor?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be there, but like few steps back.
Sure. Pulling up the back of a party just in case you're approached by somebody. I'm looking for his. Sorry, I'm just stalling for time as I'm looking for his little art there. Sure, let's do this. Let's do this. This is the patron of the bar before you. That works.
I will,
So,
I'll
yeah.
wait until he finishes talking to other customers before introducing myself.
Yeah, as you approach the bar, the Dragonborn finishes what he is doing, pouring drinks to the customers, and then turns to you, greets you warmly. Welcome to First Eclipse, all sighters. What can I offer you? A warm meal, a refreshing drink, or perhaps something a bit more intriguing? His eyes gleam with a hint of mischief, sort of hinting at the secrets that may lie within the maroon walls of this tavern.
You're well acquainted with Galsariad, yes? He said you were someone he could trust.
I think of myself as pretty trustful, yeah.
Julian will sort of cautiously take out the ruidium dagger and slowly place it on the counter and then push it over towards him and say, "This belongs to Galsariad." He said that he entrusted you to hold on to it till he is able to come and retrieve it.
Ever the gracious host, he leans in as Julian speaks in a hushed tone, and you present a dagger. His sharp, sapphire eyes widen slightly as he beholds the dagger before him. He reaches out to take it, his claws gently grasping the hilt. "Where did you get this?" he asks, his voice a whisper as he moves quickly to sort of stash the dagger behind a bar, out of sight from prying eyes. His gaze remains fixed on you, Julian, a mixture of suspicion and guarded curiosity dancing in his reptilian eyes.
From Gosariad. One of my companions at the time took it off of him after a encounter. I wish to return it.
The item in question, for those of us not familiar with it, is this. I'll post it in chat of how it looks like. And one last time, look at its handout before it disappears out of your inventory. His gaze remained on you. He listens as you make your intentions more apparent. He nods, his tone remaining cautious as he says, "I suppose it doesn't matter where you got this. You were wise to return it. However, the underlying tension in the tavern owner's voice is palpable. He leans it closer, his breath a hot whisper, as he inquires, "Is there anything else I can assist you with?" His words carry a veiled warning, a clear indication that he doesn't fully trust you, Julian.
What are the more intriguing services that you offer?
I have some off-menu items you can taste if you want. If drink is what you want, I can do that for you. What did you say your name was again?
I'm Julian Cohen.
You seem know that on a piece of paper and then stash that away in the same place where you put the dagger.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Cohen, you and your friends can have a drink if you want, if you have the coin.
Yeah, I'll take a drink. You got something cold?
We got ice. So, you can buy your drinks if you want. It is about 5 silver pieces for some really bougie stuff. Otherwise, you're buying your standard beer for 3 coppers a cup.
Riot will pay for everybody to get the bougie stuff, so that'd be 2 gold.
Yeah, sure it would be. All right, well, at least you're a good spender. Don't forget to tip.
Riot will tip them 5 silver.
Yeah, Riot. First of all, you notice that who has an insight score that's +4 or higher?
Insight score +4 or I have +5.
Yeah, that's +4 or
Mine's
higher. +7. Are we all in the same boat? 0? If you so wish, as you're all as a party observing this individual, you can roll insight checks on this person if you so wish. Those of you with an insight of 4+, you do so with advantage.
Oh, sweet. Sure, I'll do it.
Zelda's just taking in the finally we're getting a drink vibe. Zelda's, you're actually distracted by the various caskets along the wall. You where are you originally from? Where's your character originally from? Is it Marquette or somewhere across the sea? Mac?
What?
Mac, did you fall asleep? What's going on? I know it's late in Scotland.
Sorry, Mum. The cable for my microphone isn't.
Where's your character from? Do you come from across the sea or from this continent?
Oh no, they're from this continent.
This continent? Fair enough.
Yeah, they're from Marquette.
You recognize. You recognize, you being a native of Marquette, you recognize a few Drusarian mixes, a few from the south, a few from the Bay of Gifts. This place is a little bit of everything. Julian, as said, this individual's, you don't know his name is Sethrak. You've heard his name from Gosariad. As Sethrak's keen eyes catch sight of the badge of allegiance worn by you and your companions, those of you who are not hiding them for whatever reason, a subtle but palpable change comes over the Dragonborn tavern owner. His scales seem to like tense, and his expression hardens as a mixture of apprehension and suspicion washes over him, and he quickly conceals any visible reaction afterwards, his face returning to that guarded and composed state. Inwardly, however, his inward thoughts race. He understands the significance of the badge and what it represents.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, I
When
meant...
he's
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
No, just for the record, I meant no offense. That's all he says.
Mm-hmm. When he brings us his drink, can I
Yes.
and thieves can't ask him again about the other services he provides here?
Okay. Just for a second for roleplay and for my laughter, how do you phrase that?
I imagine for everyone who doesn't know Thieves Camp, it would sound something along the lines of like, so how is business going on around here? But for like somebody who has Thieves Camp, there'd be like the inclinations of like something other than just the surface level selling of
No,
beer
I
and
understand what Thieves Can is. I get you, man. Out loud, you said, how's business going?
Mhm.
He's like, oh, good, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, better now that you're here. If you want anything else, order up. I'm always welcome patrons who are willing to spend that much. Doesn't seem to speak Thieves Can back.
Okay.
Yeah. But the dagger returned. You await a little while longer as the noon sun crosses its zenith. In due time, you see Clandestine, which is Riot's sister, a matching fur pattern, one eye missing and sort of patched over with an eye patch, her entire form veiled by a dark cloak and a hood, walks in with a curious beast in her arms, a little displacer beast kitten. That sort of has wrapped its little tentacles around her arm and is currently napping as she gracefully waltzes over to your table and sits down and says, "Hello."
Hello, clandestine, and Rhett will push his drink across to his sister.
Fair enough. She takes it graciously, takes a gulp, and places the kitten onto the table to rest there in a comfortable corner, per your request.
Thank you for bringing him. It felt weird not having Starlight with me. But thank you for taking care of him since the sewers were extremely dangerous. How has he been?
He's been fine. And where you're heading is not dangerous? Just so we're not endangering animals again?
It perhaps is dangerous, but I have a medallion now that will keep him safe.
Ooh.
He'll be close by at heart. Riot will show her the raven's slumber.
Shiny. Haha. Reflexively, she extends out her paws toward it, but keeps like her kleptomaniac self to herself. Excuse me, I'm having
It
a
runs in the family.
Yeah.
Well, I would say I would love for you to come along, but I would be afraid that something could befall you. Just so you know that I will be ordering your favorite sweets again, and I'll be having them delivered here since this is a place that you seem to come often.
Only when I am cold. For you have called me here. I wouldn't say I visit this place often, no. But I appreciate the thought, and I appreciate you taking care of little old me. I wasn't looking forward for another venture. I only have 2 eyes.
Riot leans forward and in Thieves' Can, in a very low, hushed voice, will speak to Silver. So I noticed that there's an emblem of a crescent red moon behind me on the wall. Is this perhaps where the consortium is?
I wouldn't know. Why don't you find out? To me, it just seems like yet like another lid in this establishment. I like the decor. It is very geographic. But I wouldn't know the answer to your question, she says back in Thieves' Can.
Okay. Well, since we're here, I would like to introduce you, Clandestine, to Celados. and Torrent.
Pleasure.
They're new additions to the party.
So you're related?
She's my sister, yes.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I question it
Rise is gonna
sometimes.
like shove her and like
Yeah.
push her in the like top of the head down a little bit.
They fight. They fight a little bit to make it evident that they're siblings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I see the family resemblance.
There you go.
But we can clearly see who got the charm. And he indicates his sister.
Thanks. And she blinks with one eye.
Careful there, Celados. If you're not careful, you might lose your purse that you might have on you, or something that is just as shiny. Because just like me, we're both attracted to shiny things.
There's many things I'm attracted to, not just gold, and that's not the only thing he might lose if he's not careful. But with that being said, let me buy the group a drink. And was there anything else that you wished for me? As much as I love playing your errand girl, I was a little bit in the middle of something.
Oh, I am sorry for disturbing you from doing any work.
Yes, work.
If you need any help of the more interesting type, you can give us a call. But if you're doing something during the day, I don't want to be a part of that.
And just to add to your question there, to clarify on something you asked before, you asked her whether she knows anything about the crescent moon you noticed, which you can share with the party if you want. Then that'll be an opportune moment. But the reason why she doesn't know is because, according to her knowledge and her faction's knowledge, the consortium of the Vermilion Dream faction doesn't have a base of operation per se. They're very secretive and they keep moving. So while she may know of prior locations, I mean, you can't point to everything and be like, that's them, right? But it's up to you to find out. Fair enough.
Ride in hushed tone, talking to everybody in common. At the back of this tavern, you can notice there's a castle lid bearing a symbol not associated with any known brewer here. It's a red crescent moon. It's intriguing, and it looks like it's just another piece of decoration, but this is the first time we've seen it upon any wall. And nobody seems to know where the consortium of the Vermilion Dream are. This perhaps could be the first stepping stone to find out where they might be. Or this could be where they are.
Maybe it's a secret meeting place.
Perhaps. But that's not why we're here for now. No need to cause trouble before the Maroon 5 are even here. 6.
Thanks to you.
What, us causing trouble?
No,
That
there
doesn't
are
really cause
6
trouble.
thanks to you. I'm just saying all of them survived. Yeah.
We saved Io back in Bazzoxan. Praxis is alive. You know, we have a pretty good running in keeping them alive. Except for one got thrown in jail.
Speaking of the devils, as you're conversing, enjoying your drinks, the very Maroon 6 walk into the tavern minus Calceria.
Riot's gonna have some meat out in front of Starlight in case he wakes up.
They are here. They catch a glimpse of you, still nursing their wounds from your last altercation, especially Ao, especially Irvin. Dermot looks fine, unharmed by any means, but you bubbled my cleric into a little bubble. But most of them look still bruised and injured and limping. Not as patient as you would hope, but nonetheless, they arrive here for Parley. It is up to you, since you've requested this, to lead on the conversation. So, take it away.
Aya. I want to begin with an apology. Things went too far last night. I never meant for it to go that far, especially what happened with Julia and Winston. And he looks over at Maggie as he says that, goes, they are no longer a part of fate's fortune. We didn't want things to turn out like that.
You could have just kept away with the dagger, says Ao, cold, but with a measure of patience. You didn't have to come to blows. She's tired. She's tired from the battle. She is exhausted from having to recover from her wounds, but there's also a tiredness in her voice, having recovered perhaps from something else. Her gaze lands... Where is this? No, the spear's not here. It's in the bag of holding. Her gaze searches for what you would probably guess is the spear, saying it down among you. Did you leave it down there? Did you really abandon it?
I look to Riot.
It's not abandoned. Not at all. I put it in safekeeping because it tried to convince me to kill Craxus. It urged me to end the life of a friend.
Yarrowish can have his ways.
I fought against it and casted a healing spell on him instead to prove him otherwise that I'm not as weak as he expected me to be. And then I put him away so he can't try to convince anybody else to do any wrongdoings.
I can assure you, in my hands, Craxus will be just fine.
Yes, because it sounds like Yarosh will fight for the group that he's within, but as soon as he's in another's hands, he will betray that group, and that's not something that
which is why it's best in my hands. I would see it returned.
I'm not disagreeing, but I would gladly give it back to you. I have it held on to just so we can have this conversation. But Riot will pull out the spear and place it on the table just for now.
She reaches out for it.
Would you sit with us?
We are.
Oh, they're sitting? I thought they were standing still.
Maggie is standing, sort of looming over you. The half-ogre silently watches with that grim expression of her cross-armed, sort of acting the bodyguard as she does. Dermot, foul mood a little bit, struggles to get up on a chair for a solid minute before he clanks up there with his full set of armor. Craxus and Irvin are already getting drinks at a bar. You're sitting across Dermot and Ao currently.
Riot's going to ask for Serac to bring around for Io, Dermot, and Maggie if she would like one.
Done.
Don't spend any coin. We'll cover your drinks and food.
It's the least you can do. But this is a start, and she grabs up the spear, and if you would allow her, she takes it off the table.
Yeah, he does.
And she seems relieved. That expression of tiredness slowly waning away from her face as strength fills her once more. It is like watching somebody sate their addiction. Like watching a vampire sate its thirst. It's eerie, but she seems in a happier mood. So what is it you want to talk about?
When you were down there, you said something about we're going to release something. We don't know anybody that knows as much information perhaps as Kalmaro as you, since you've already been down there. Would you share with us who don't know nearly as much as you do about this?
Why? From the very beginning, our two groups collided in Jigao in search of the jewel. We have lost that race and have been chasing your dust ever since. Why would I share information that would make us fall even shorter in this race?
Because it sounded like you don't want us to release it, that it's something bad and that should not be released, and we don't, going down there, perhaps want to knock over a wrong pebble.
Have they ever... You finish.
Something drastic. And simply because in the past we've saved you and you've saved us, and I'm totally capable and willing to work with you guys. Us being at each other's throats, it doesn't make sense, and it's not us. I care about you guys, and I wish you all to survive, and it's why I didn't want to punch anybody. And when I was in my 8 form, I let Irvin pass, and then the only reason why I turned on Craxus is I saw him almost kill Naya. I reacted to it, and I didn't want to hit any of you. I kept tossing Caraxes back to get him away. I didn't know what was happening in my giant ape form. I just tried to keep everybody away from each other.
I didn't come here for your excuses. You can. She just lifts a hand. Have you ever stopped to think what precisely is the meaning of that jewel that whoever is wearing? Do your new companions know? Let me ask them. You, of the allegiance of Allsight, you've allied yourself with that faction on this mission to unlock this mysteries of this jewel, but you're headed in a blind direction. Have you ever not stopped to ask yourself that perhaps whatever is kept down there is meant to be sealed away forever? Not rediscovered, not released. Whatever is calling for the jewel might be evil. I have.
You think? Do you
What do
think
I think?
Alexian is evil? That first vision that we saw together back in Jigao, he was calling for our help. The jewel, it's a holy item. It was created by the gods during the calamity to help Alexian to push back the betrayer gods that tried to destroy this world.
We don't know that, first of all. Second of all, and she points toward the tiefling of the group, you, Hexblood, you, a fiendish infernal blood, look at me and tell me that an infernal being, or some demon, or some other evil entity is not capable of such visions, or is not capable of such trickery.
Well, I cannot say you are completely wrong, but anyone is capable of such things. And although I do not know too much about this jewel myself as of this time, but unlocking secrets is kind of what I'd like to do.
And what about... Yeah?
And if it turns out to be dangerous, then it can be stopped.
Or it can be prevented. And what about you, Elf? What do you think about this? A vision, enigmatic as is, of a spirit shown to us all. They, one version, us another. Who is right, who is wrong?
Nothing can be said until we can see from our own eyes what's down there. Doesn't mean we're gonna release it, but we do not have to be blind to whatever could happen for weal or woe.
I agree wholeheartedly in that. And then there's the other side of the sword. Perhaps we are wrong, and this thing is not malignant, evil, rather. It is not malevolent, is the word I'm looking for. Perhaps it is not of that nature, and it is what it says it is. Why should you be the victors of this race? Why do we not deserve to be the heroes? Why should we sit idle as you soak in all the glory? I swore to my party to lead them toward riches and to inscribe our tale in the annals of time. We've seen nothing but one defeat after the other. We've asked for the jewel, we've asked to share in that glory, and you refused.
Why don't we just go down together?
To what end? So you can lead us on and we, the sidekicks, be in your wake?
No, share the glory. If we go down together, doesn't matter who has the jewel. We can let you have the jewel sometimes, and you give it back to us sometimes. Doesn't mean it has to stay in one party. Just do it together. So we're next to each other. We partake in the glory. We partake in the riches. It's safer in numbers. We knew that in Bazozan. You guys knew it when we went off to save that Aurora Watchman.
We've changed much since Bazozan. We've learned from our mistakes. We've acquired our strengths. We've allied ourselves with reliable allies. And have a source of power. And sort of looks at the spear once more. That gives us an edge. We no longer require you. We no longer require your help. And yours are just words, not actions. If were I to extend my hand currently, you would not give us the jewel. Therein lie our differences. And so, the race commences. I will consider this meeting of ours a gesture of good faith. return the dagger, return the spear, and do not cross our paths. Should you do, we will handle you as a abstraction in our business. Should our paths not cross, that will be for the best.
Julian sort of gestures with his head towards the Dragonborn and says, I spent a lot of thinking last night, and I met with Galsariad. He told me that... What was his name again? Sazar?
Sazrak.
The Brack.
Satsrak was someone he trusted me to leave the dagger in to, but if you want to take it off his hands.
She wordlessly looks onto Maggie, who nods and unfolds her arms and just toward the bar. The two exchange a few words, Maggie and Sazrak, as he hands her the what could be the dagger, bundled up in like a piece of like table rag or something, and she just sort of pockets it into a satchel and returns to loom over the shoulder of Ao. And having inspected the contents of the rag, Maggie nods to Ao. They affirm to each other that that's what they're looking for. And Ao says, "Perhaps there is a future that lies in our corporation that remains to be seen. You will forgive us if we need to take some time to lick our wounds and think about it."
Of course, again, we truly are sorry. In the heat of the moment, mistakes were made.
I will admit my
I
part.
wish to amend that.
She nods in recognition of your amendment. I will admit my fault as well. It is my job as leader to keep watch of all of my party members, and I assure you, when Gilsariad is released, I will have a firm talk about him about going rogue on us again. I want you to know it wasn't my plan to rob you. It wasn't
I didn't
Dermot's.
think it was.
It wasn't Gilsariad's.
Sorry.
And it wasn't Irvin's. Irvin is not to blame. He is a very influenced individual. And Gilsariad has his charm, I do admit. He has a way of words to be convincing. So, I suppose it's time for both of us to be the bigger person. She extends out a hand. Blue, genocide, skin, slightly moist, awaits your handshake.
I will take it and shake it.
And she passes it across the table, even to those among you who have not yet met this party, and I yet admit, make acquaintance with them, get a second chance at neutrality.
I also want you to know that during that whole debacle of that night, I didn't lay a hand on Irvin. I simply cast a spell and retrieved the bag that he had taken, and that is all. And I released him with nothing held against him.
I know. He told me. I appreciate that. As I've said, we need our time to recuperate from our wounds. You did quite a number on us. We'll get you back. From here on in, it's gonna be back to the friendly competition it was. No more animosity, no more going rogue, no more crossing lines. A simple rivalry to the finish line. May the best win.
Well, I
But
hope
before...
Mm.
Continue.
Are you going to be taking part in the Bowl of Judgment?
Why? Are you?
Well, I would be. We were thinking about it. We have to go down to Calmoro, but we'll be back up hopefully in time, and well, it'll be fun to have a lively brawl between two friends
See you then.
or two parties.
She seems cheerful about the thought, despite everything that happened, about the thought of yet another competition. Sure. Challenge accepted. Yes, so...
Friendly challenge, like a farmer's bet.
So, Lauren, you want to say something? And then I truly want to keep this session moving along. That way our new players get an opportunity of a word as well.
Yeah,
I'm quite
throughout most of the conversation, Julian's expression would have been serious, if not somber. You know, because he's trying to make amends. He's being apologetic. When she offers the handshake, he gives like a genuine, like wide smile as he happily takes it.
Yeah, I see what you're throwing down. Like
the
you
mood is-
genuinely want to make amends and you want to reach neutrality. You're getting just that. Yeah, fair enough. Before I move on, then, wrapping up this little scenario, I'm gonna ask Mac, Elaine, This is the rival party. Mako is already sort of aware of who they are, so I take it for granted that he knows who they are.
I read the.
You have. Do you have any questions?
No, I just
Okay.
want to point out as roleplay that when Io just grabbed, I grabbed Io's
Yes.
hand when it's offered to me and said, "You're Walter Genasi. Are you related to Grant Gimahol from Vesra?
I wait.
You're a spitting image of Walter Genasi that I knew back at home."
I'll take this as a compliment. How sweet of you. No, I wish I had such blue blood in my veins, so to speak. I hail from a simple orcish family back in Chicago, and their grandparents before me, and their grandparents before them.
Oh, interesting.
Are you? Are you related to this individual, which the DM totally heard about?
No. They're Genasi, definitely. Like, not of Elven. They're more inland. Like, they stayed more on the beach. We were more on the coast, in the sea. Yeah.
I just didn't want to rule out any possibilities. You never know. They can intermingle. I can see it happening.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. We were all protecting Vesra. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. Alcohol certainly smooths things over as your two groups spend the next hour or two just sort of drinking and trying, reattempting at certain bonds. Maggie, by far being the most quiet of the group, the ogre sort of silently watching for any trouble. Dermot is so glad that people are finally talking to each other. Being the pacifist he is, the cleric goblin is taking the joys of it. Irvin is just here to party, joins the table. Kraxus, the barbarian, is sharing a laugh throughout. And in the spirit of things, and by the end of it, it is somewhat pleasant meeting. You don't notice at which point of the evening Clandestine just sort of slinks away. Question is, did you make it clear to Clandestine whether you want her to, I'm assuming you want her to keep the kitten, or did you want it delivered to you so you can put it in the Raven's slumber?
Right, want to keep Starlight to put into Raven's slumber.
Okay, no problem. With the vessel freed, you are free to do your druid stuff, commune with it, one creature to another, explain it, what's happening, the way I don't have to roll wisdom saves every time.
Yeah,
Then,
I have speak with animals too.
Fair enough. And
I was gonna say, with Irvin, he would be doing darts and stuff like that, and for fun with Kraxus doing arm wrestles.
Sounds good. Very well. With that all being said, do you guys have any other business in the First Eclipse Tavern?
Yeah, it's like before they leaving, it's just after like had the merriment and all that chat and everything. Seldos will say it's just like, though we are just about to venture down into the Kelmoro ourselves, I hope we can bring shared knowledge that we can maybe partake and share what we both know. It'll only strengthen both of us.
Not while you hold on to that sigil, and she points toward the Allegiance of All Sight badge. I can't share anything with you. Unfortunately, as much as I enjoy this, that will be a conflict of interest to our factions. You know who I speak of. Aloysia and her ilk, the consortium. There is a disagreement with the ways of the Allegiance. One cannot work with the other.
And so blocks the pursuit of knowledge. No problem.
I have very little choice there. Sorry, Mac.
Oh, good.
Alright, again. Everybody okay if I expedite things forward?
Yep.
So, you guys want to take another day off resting after this ordeal, just to take a day to get ready?
Yeah, well, I meant later after this, I would do my potions thing before we sleep.
Done and done. If you
I
have
don't
the
know
gold.
how long that would take.
Yeah, well, it's an hour. It's
how
an
much
hour.
is it for 2 greater?
It's an hour per potion, and you can check the prices in the item handout, which is
Right. Herbalism journal, right here.
Yeah, herbalism journal right there.
I have proficiency in the herbalism kit and alchemical kit.
If
Can
you,
I assist in some way?
of course, if you aid him, it'll be half an hour per potion,
Okay.
as you two sort of split the task in twine.
That's
Uh,
cool.
it's cool to know, especially if you're in between battles or if you ever need that. When you have a whole day, it's not so much a matter of time, but it's still sweet that you guys are collaborating. In fact, I welcome it. And if you guys want to roleplay with each other, now's a chance. This is what's called campfire time.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start with like, just maybe a simple question to inquire about each character, go for it.
Can you real quick, right? Can you also buff the potions that I have on myself? I'll cover the gold for it.
What potions do you have?
I have 4 just regular healing potions.
So
The one
those
you
are
just
would be
bought, right?
those would be 25 gold each for the basic, is 50 for a greater, and 75 for a superior.
Okay, I'll spend 100 gold right now.
Okay, so all those ones, if any of them are, no. Oh,
Respond to me.
that's Discord. So are any of them are the discounted ones?
No,
Okay. So all
I
those
am out of those.
1d4s turn to 1d6s for
Great.
7 days,
Awesome.
and after that they revert to the normal one, to a 1d4.
Okay.
And I'll put the 100 gold for the other 2 to get them enhanced. But Elan, we can do a little role play if you like.
Sure. Oh, hey, what do you intend to do here?
Well, I've spent a lot of time doing a little herbalizing here and there, but in Bazazan I was able to take an hour or 2 to actually look at a very much of a herbalist encyclopedia, where I was able to check out on herbs and soils and mushrooms all over the country and world. And slowly, I've been making a little notes in my research and everything that I found, and I've compiled and show the book to him. Sadly, the book is basically written how Riot writes, which is pretty much chicken scratches. So it's kind of tricky to actually like read it. But Riot will move along his hand and it will explain. It's like, I have a list here of ingredients that will actually allow me to enhance a healing potion to make it a bit stronger for about a week or so. And after that, it will just revert back to its normal forms. But there's a list of ingredients right here, and he'll start pointing them out. And if you would like, I can show you how to put them in and mix it properly, and we can make this go faster.
Sure. Oh, actually, hold on. Pull the pouch, put some of the herbs, and I got this kelp that has been used for a lot of the potions back home. That seems to have some, seems to soothe the pain. So that could be useful for you. There's this thing. What's that? No, not this one. That's used in order to just turn somebody blue. I don't know why I got that. Oh, and I got
Use
this.
that on Julian.
Maybe one day. Well, I got this algae. That's actually that is good. Actually, that it calms the nerves. So maybe that could be useful for your. And plus, I got some vials in my backpack. Some ways of actually passing liquid from one place to the next. So if we could set up somewhere, we could make potions.
That'd be a great idea. Also, I got a couple of things to show you. Crap, where's my inventory?
My entire inventory.
Open the book, it all falls down.
I sold a bunch of it. You should be happy.
I am happy you're sorting it, yeah.
Oh crap, where is Slipping Gnomes? There it is. Sorry, it was behind my Discord page. I have this interesting spore. It's called the Tiamat spore. And basically what it does is it creates darkness. And if someone's in this darkness and the spores get into their system and they succumb to it, they get really confused. They might move away, they might run into a wall, they might not even do anything that turn. I found it in the sewers. It's It's very fantastic. We actually, one of the paladin Winston that was with us, he kind of succumbed to it, and he kind of ran into a wall and just kept on going.
Wow. I
And
can
then-
assume that being in a sewer when this hits you could be very detrimental to a lot of people.
Very much so, and that entire area that is affected is in complete darkness.
Wow.
And then there's this other mushroom we found, and it kind of hurt me a little bit. It's called the Bigger Bang, and basically it sends out its spores and then lets off a massive bang, and trust me, it hurts.
Oh,
It's basically like a little mini dynamite. You throw it and then you ignite it, and it's explosion.
the what? What's dino? What did you call it?
I
Dynamite?
called it like dynamite, like you use it to like little bombs that explode stuff.
Oh, okay.
So if you ever see like interesting mushrooms or herbs when we're down anywhere, call me over. I would love to take a look at it and maybe harvest some.
Sure.
Then we can make some very interesting potions and items.
Well, I can just see. Just don't stand too close if somebody, pushes you on the floor and then poof, everything gets released at once.
It can be problematic. That's why I keep it in the bag of colding, so the spores last longer, and if I'm thrown down, nothing's gonna break.
Mm.
By the way, I do have a bag of colding, and Naya, our dragonborn, has a bag of holding. So if you guys ever need things to be held and we have space in them, we'll gladly hold on to them for you.
Look,
If you put them in my bag, it's a little chilled.
Actually, since you guys are so generous with your wares, I have my old double-bladed scimitar. Maybe I could find a blanket or something, and it could be put into one of the bags, because I don't need carry two.
Definitely, we can put them into one of them.
Yeah, right now I need to carry the good one because the other one's on my back.
Too bad you can't wield them both at the same time.
Well, I've heard of a creature. That's funny you should mention that. I heard of a creature that actually has 4 arms. It almost looks like a bug. It looks weird, and I saw one from a distance, and I just, it was way up, back when I was near Emon, and it just looked bizarre. But I'm sure you give it the 2 of those, I'm sure it could weld it in some way.
Maybe you'll be skilled enough eventually to be able to do it 2 hands rather than 4.
Well, no, you really need 2 hands because I can hit from the front side, but then I can actually flip it and make a little from the back end at the same time, but I need both hands to be able to do that.
I can't wait to see you in action with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, especially with this one. This is nice. This is balanced. You said there was a spirit in this? I've been very cracked.
I'm sorry, my wife just made me laugh really hard when I made that comment. I missed what you said.
The
I said
spirit.
there was
Yeah.
spirit in here. Must have been really cracked.
It was a spirit that was bent on revenge, and the revenge of the one who killed it. And if whoever I was hit by, I would turn and I would look at them, and sometimes I would almost see the face of the woman who wrapped the soul of this Aurora Watchman in the blade, and all I could do would be want to attack that one person.
Oh, whether
So-
it's a friend or a foe.
Friend or foe, it didn't matter.
Hmm.
But the Raven Queen, she said the cycle of this one spirit in life wasn't over, and we ended up finding out that there was a Luxon beacon somewhere in Marquette. She showed it. It was great distance way off, but someone is here.
Interesting. Yeah, the Dusk Maven is incredible. Found that. But ever since I set foot on land back in Taldori, I got introduced to the wonders of the Dust Maven, and really, well, besides I had a grudge against undead, so it kind of aligned with whatever I wanted to do. I think she just like pushed me just a bit, and boop. I like what she was offering. So,
Well, I'm a druid of Melora.
oh, okay.
I'm only recently become a druid, and after Kalmaro, I'm hoping that I'll be able to go and find an arc druid that is in the Luvian Garden, and her name is Arc Druid Lilian Witchwood, and I'm hoping to find her for more guidance and to
Oh,
teach me what I do not know.
oh, that's interesting. It's nice to have a mentor somewhere. Except that otherwise, you learn from the seat of your pants. It's not really, you know, like the things I find out about myself. Just bizarre. We're not many that do that. As prevalent as I think the Dust Maven is, I don't think many took that particular mentor. So I have a whole backstory of going out and coming back and then finding candles all around. Bizarre. Anyway. Oh,
Well,
I think it's
we all-
that spoiling.
I don't know what you're talking about, so it's not a spoiler. Over.
Well, if you fall asleep and you wake up around us out of nowhere with candles around you, we'll have a fun talk.
Well, yeah. Well, there was nobody for me to talk to. I just woke up on myself. So it's bizarre. Anywho.
Nice. At any point, should you wish to conclude the day and roll another long rest and end it there, because my understanding you guys wanted to go at dawn for some reason, refreshed, we can get to that point. I just don't want to interrupt any down time rather that you guys wish to take as players.
I don't want to meta, but there was the shroud.
It's fine. It's not matter. You can inquire about it. The party has it. Yeah.
You can ask about it. Rye doesn't really know about it actually currently. Rye came in afterwards.
Yeah, true. So in context, Will actually missed a session, so he wasn't there when the party retrieved it. Which I suppose is why Will did not mention it, but like Julian would know about it, and if your character wants to try it on, you just to get to that point, you as a member of the clergy of the sorry, I was putting on tavern music, but I can't concentrate what it's on. You as a member of the clergy of the Raven Queen can go ahead and roll me a advantageous religion check if you wish, as you're presented forth with this shroud that the party has. Right party. I don't want to tell people what they're doing, but
Yep.
we are cool. So you're presented forth with this shroud. It resonates with you, honestly. It's almost, even though it's eerie, you're used to the eerie. You're used to Raven Queen's motifs, fighting the undead, the respite, the gentle respite of death. So this is not too bizarre for you. With a 12 religion check, you don't know the item secrets without tuning to it, but you know it is of the Raven Queen flock. Used in the various ceremonies, this item is used in ceremonies dedicated to this deity of yours. It has holy symbols worked into it, sort of at the center of the neck cuff here, representing the carrion bird silhouetted by like the setting sun, which is like the Marquesian version of the Raven Queen's visage. The crow, the translated over to be a vulture-like bird of the desert. The Raven Queen's followers might try to pursue the owner to donate this cloak to a temple for a reward, steal it from the unworthy, but in your case would probably celebrate you using it, you being a member of the clergy, not the clergy as a cleric, but of the religion. It wouldn't see as
church,
yes, it wouldn't be seen as sacrilegious for you to wear something like this. Do you wish to don it?
I will.
Okay. While most items, especially of the magical kind, require like a long period of time to tune to this item, within a minute you tune to it, you feel it, it almost acts as a second skin to you. It wraps itself tightly to embrace you like a blanket in a comforting embrace. It's a canvas shroud for use for burial, permanently stained with this red. It doesn't seem to wash off no matter how much beer you spill and trying to like wash it off. And it's worn like a cloak. And let me give you the rest of its properties as I paste them onto the handout and reveal it. Because the attunement for this item only takes 1 minute. It being a harmonious item. Here you go. You receive the Dusk Maven's boons as it embraces you. When you're close to perishing, when you're on the cusp of death's door while wearing the shroud, but you're not outright killed by the attack, it magically shall wrap around you to protect you and your unconscious body and ensnare your spirit to this material world just yet. You immediately gain a protective aura around you, which remains there for like 10 minutes until you regain yourself back into fighting status, at which point the shroud will unwrap around you and become a cloak once more. While you have this protection on you, you can neither gain nor suffer any blows, rather not blows, but you can death saving throws. I'm trying to make this non-meta, but it's hard. You do not suffer death saving throws, failed or successes. You don't have to roll them. You are essentially stabilized, I suppose. I don't see how this is any different from being stabilized. Whenever a creature within 10 feet of you deals damage to you, Shroud will retaliate with the Raven Queen's might. Once the Shroud has granted you this property, it can do so no more for until like 3 days have passed. Much like Jesus on Easter, if you will. The only thing about this is there comes a toll with this. You cannot cheat death, and there must always be a toll paid to the Raven Queen until these 3 days have passed. Whenever you finish a long rest, you make a easy to pass but nonetheless failable Constitution saving throw. On a failed saving throw, you gain only the benefits of a short rest as you are plagued by horrific visions of the long dead spirits. As the ethereal veil untethers itself around you for that night. If you accept this toll, it is yours to wield.
I shall.
Neat. I don't know if at a certain point, I was looking at this item and I was like, I'll keep it as written. I don't know if at a certain point your character is so proficient at Constitution that it cannot fail a check. Unless, even if you roll a natural 1, I still take a total. So unless you have like a +3 in Constitution saving throws, you will never fail that save. Because 5 meets and beats.
I currently have a +3. Yeah.
Oh, so you have like 1 in 20 chance of like literally like a natural 1 to fail. If you roll natural 1, you don't benefit from a long rest. Cool. Yeah. Good to know. Neat.
That's why this one was better than the charisma one. Than the ring.
Well, thankfully you scanned the shroud to detect no ruidium traces upon it, despite all the red. Neat. Item is yours.
Awesome.
All right. Anything else, guys?
Ray just wants to spend some time before sleep playing with Starlight, teaching it to come, sit, let it smell the displacer cloak, and just talk to it and explain exactly what the Raven Slumber is, how it's a safe place, how Starlight will always be with Riot, and Riot will always be there to protect him.
Sounds excellent. I am ready for the descent when you guys are. I'm very excited for it. Again, don't want to push anybody out the door, but
I'm ready for the descent too now. I'm just trying to figure out my last goddamn spell because I can get rid of Animal Messenger now.
You had 2 days. Oh, I guess, yeah. I was like, you had 2 days to prepare spells. Fair enough. Can I, while you're figuring it out, continue the narrative from the point of you guys' descent?
Yeah, sure. I just got one question for the group. Would you? I have 2 choices: pass without a trace, in case you think we need to sneak by anything to like get close to stuff, like maybe sneak up on the guy, maybe, or I could get lesser restoration.
Again, this might be something that you may want to coordinate with Naya.
She doesn't have power. Oh wait, yeah, she's
She would
a
have
cleric.
lesser restoration, or
I'll
have
take passive
access to
restoration.
lesser restoration.
It is
I'll take
something
pass
you,
with that
you could
trait.
coordinate, but you can just pick now, and Naya will just compensate later. I mean, like, she's a cleric, she can have access to any spells she wants at any time, so... Not any time, but, like... She will get to pick hers in the morning, so she'll just react to whatever you have, right?
Yeah, I'll take pass with that trace then. That'll be useful.
Sounds excellent. You guys...
There we go.
Okay. In the cozy, inviting haven, Fate's Fortune finds solace, not only in crafting their healing potions, but also in the bond they share as a tightly knit group of adventurers facing the challenges of the world with courage, friendship, and a little bit of magic. As we come to rest, and dawn next day, you gather your things and make it for the Maw of Ankarel. Look at all these characters that were no longer with us. Let me delete them off the board. Alright. So... Saldus, just to give you a little view of everything, I think your vision should grant you a view of what you look at. This is the Maw before you, featuring a descending set of stairs that sort of spirals down into darkness below. Even those of you with that enhanced devil sight granted to you by your patrons, you look down into past the threshold of it, 100, 200, 300 feet below, and then it vanishes to darkness, deeper still. You descend the spiral... yeah. Yeah?
I'm saying, wow, it's super deep.
Yeah, it's super deep. You brave the descent, the spiral staircase for hundreds of feet. As you descend into the submerged ruin of Kalmaro, the world above gradually fades into an eerie twilight, and the muted sounds of the surface are replaced by a haunting silence. Windows in the nearby walls offer glimpses of a sunken city below Ankarel. Let me put us on a better map for this. Let me fix the vision so it's not dependent on dynamic lighting at all. There we go. Everybody should be able to see now. As I mentioned, windows in the nearby walls offer glimpses of a sunken city below Ankarel. Shafts of soft, cerulean light penetrate the water, revealing the majestic, otherworldly architecture of the elven city. Now draped in a spectral algae and guarded by eerie, ghostly figures that float ethereally through the watery streets. Though most of the city is hidden from view, you catch a glimpse of the once grand boulevards that are now overgrown with this bioluminescent coral and schools of iridescent fish that dart through the once bustling plazas. As you descend further down the narrow spiral staircase, the air grows cold and damp, and the echoing sounds of your footsteps reverberate through the hollow stone column that extends from the maw of Kalmaro into the depths below. The dimly lit, winding descent feels like a journey into the heart of the earth itself, with the anticipation of ancient mysteries and hidden dangers lurking below. And finally, as you reach the bottom of the staircase, the passage opens into a wider chamber, and you find yourselves within a plain, windowless room containing boxes of archaeological tools and crates marked with the emblem of the Legions of Allsight. In this room, leaning against the wall next to a door, is a sullen-looking orc. The orc is dressed in the robes of a scholar. His demeanor is like one of a measured reserve, and his eyes betraying a deep well of knowledge and purpose. Upon his attire, he bears the unmistakable mark of the Allegiance of Allsight, an emblem of an open book with a stylized eye at its center. This individual doesn't seem to have noticed you just yet. What do you do?
I'll pull out the medallion with the sigil of the Alliance and just pull it out to be on top.
Mm-hmm.
And non-threateningly begin marching forward. I guess this is the way we're going, folks, right?
Yeah, seems like this guy's a friend.
Feels really cold and damp in here.
Oh, reminds me of home.
Riot tries to avoid the various puddles in the rocky ground, water dripping from the ceiling.
Yeah, anytime water drip from the ceiling, because I'm assuming Riot's gonna be like maybe in front of Julian or something,
Mhm.
just to make this a little more funny. Anytime water drops hits him on top of the head, Julian, you'll have to like make a quick reaction to like grab Riot as he jumps backward into you.
Jeez.
And as you see puddles on the ground, you see him like do that like little dainty like step around to get around the waters and just like massive puddles. You hear like a small hiss from him.
The hiss fucking reverberates throughout the cavern, and the individual lifts up his gaze, and you realize he's been sleeping, napping this entire time, and then he just stirs like, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake. Who goes there? Yes, colleagues? Hello?
Yes, indeed.
Good, good. With enough acknowledgement. Yeah.
Or
he-
fate's fortune.
Oh, alright, I've been expecting your arrival. We could use allies down here. I am Gortag Ink Drinker. Hello, colleague.
Drinker.
Yeah, Gortag. Here, let me spell my name out for your notes, fellow note takers. Gortag Ink Drinker. He carries himself with an air of scholarly authority, and with that naturally built orc muscle to him. Come, you are to meet with my superior, Professor Insight Aquere. She's at the Allegiance Space Camp just past these doors. You will find the knowledge and the guidance you seek there. I am to escort you through this submerged city and ensure your safe passage to our camp. I'll be honest, I was sort of expecting you yesterday, but it's alright, I don't mind hanging out. Do you have any questions before we proceed onwards?
Yes. Do we have to go through water at all currently?
Haha, no, behold. And he presses a button in the center of the door and just rotates, and the stone begins to sort of, like an aperture of a camera, open up from the center outwards, that sort of sound, and you glimpse the view beyond the entrance. You see this right along with everybody else. Let me, again, sorry, I apologize, I've sort of prepared it for the other party to be here. So vision is a little bit wacky for some of you. Let me fix that.
No problem. Take it.
You evidently see Riot heave a huge sigh not having to go through water.
Not water, friend. No. Beyond the apparatus of the door, as it opens, is a corridor bathed in like a soft, shimmering blue light that extends ahead of you all. This airtight tunnel, enclosed by this near translucent, soundproof magical barrier, stretches onwards, revealing a gloom-choked, sunken ruin just past the shimmer. So, have you ever been to like an aquarium, like in Toronto or something? I don't know, USA side,
SeaWorld.
where you have like a shark tank, but you're walking through like a tube under the shark tank. It's that, but magical. Right?
That's
You look
cool.
up all around you. You're like hundreds of feet underwater currently.
You guys just see Riot shivering with fear, wondering if this magical tunnel will collapse and bathe them in water.
I sort of like grab him by the shoulders and like slowly walk forward. Like, come on, it's gonna be okay. One step at a time.
Yeah.
I just step back slightly to be like also shoulder to shoulder to Riot, but on the other side, and just like, and you want to find out how to get like swimming creatures, ocean creatures? How is that gonna work for you?
I've had some bad experiences in water. When I was a kid, I almost drowned and got eaten by a really big fish, and my mom had to jump in and save me. And then we had a really delicious meal, but it was terrifying. And then the first time we decided to go as a party into caves and water, it was okay for the most part. And then a shark nearly killed me in one bite. So I anytime I go into water, I tend to go unconscious, and it's a little unnerving to me right now. And we're under this. Oh my God, how much water is this? And you just see his eyes like dilate as he's looking into the water.
So, if I may be so curious, guys, I'm going to put you guys on what would be the more detailed sort of bird's eye view map, right? Going forward, I just want to see how it acts, so I know if I have to fix it for next session. So, sorry for this jump, but the bird's eye view of where you guys are would be this. How's vision for everybody?
I see the whole room.
Cool. The whole
And
room.
part of the hallway leading as well.
Right. So that's sort of what you're looking at. In terms of distance, in terms of what you're looking at, you can go ahead and move your tokens around, sort of experiment.
I can see down to here.
Yeah, you can move your own token around if you click on it and use the arrow keys and stuff. And some such.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, as I was describing, this airtight tunnel, enclosed by this near-translucent soundproof magical barrier, stretches onwards, revealing a gloom-choked sunken ruin just past the shimmer. Verdant patches of kelp sway gently beyond the walls, and schools of colorful fish dart and weave through the swaying strands, providing this like surreal underwater spectacle. The corridor eventually terminates before an imposing door, intricately set into a submerged building's wall. Above the doorway, a small stone cube gleams with like an array of glowing blue runes, a testament of the arcane prowess of the Allegiance of All Sight. Guarding this threshold stand two formidable figures, dressed in the distinctive apparel and badges of the Allegiance. One is a stern human, and the other is a halfling with like an air of unyielding determination. As you approach, the human guard raises his hand, palm forward, and addresses you with an authoritative voice. Stop! His eyes keenly assess the party. This passage is reserved for Allegiance personnel only. Do you bear the necessary proof of credentials to proceed?
Right here.
I imagine we gotta
Of
show
course.
him our badges.
Yeah. We present forth your
I will
badges.
hold up a hand that's shaking vigorously, holding the seal.
Fair enough. As you do, we don't have a player number 6. Julian, as you stand before the guarded entrance to the Allegiance of All Sight's secure chamber, a strange, unsettling sensation washes over you. A sudden, intrusive presence invades your thoughts, as if an alien intelligence is probing your mind. The voice that resonates within your consciousness is chillingly familiar, a distorted version of a human man's voice that you've encountered in the jewel's haunting visions. The voice, distorted and eerie, echoes within your mind, Julian, its words carrying a heavy weight of hopelessness. They were right. I bring nothing but despair. At that moment, a sense of overwhelming self-doubt and melancholy engulfs you, Julian. The mental assault shudders against your confidence and leaves you feeling vulnerable and shaken. To resist this insidious influence of this psychic intrusion, roll me a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage, please.
Mm-hmm.
That was a voice similar of the 3 prayers.
To elixir.
13.
13. The curse for a moment takes hold, casting a dark shadow over your sense of self, your sense of charisma. But then your illithid gift, that of your patroness, kicks in, and shoves back the voice's influence away from your mind as you save yourself from whatever malediction might have influenced you. The voice's sinister message lingers in your mind still, a haunting reminder of the dangers lurking in these depths, and then the sensation ebbs away.
I'll ask the guard. Do people normally hear voices when they come in here?
All sorts of apparitions in these parts. This is a graveyard, boy. A battlefield. An ancient one at that. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear voices, see things in the dark. You tread it carefully. We've lost a fair number of operatives here. A fair number of Allegiance men and women have not been recovered from these depths.
Right.
Right. So, as you follow Gordrinker onwards past the warded entrance, you arrive at a scene here. Let me go ahead and again fix the vision of this place. Dynamic lighting off. There we go. Alrighty. As you step into the heart of the Allegiance base camp, you find yourselves in a meticulously organized storage building that spans 3 floors, all interconnected by a gracefully spiraling stone staircase in the middle. The chamber is bustling with the frenetic activity of archaeologists, their collective efforts evident in the shelves filled with meticulously labeled journals, carefully arranged recovered relics, and an impressive array of excavation tools. In place of glass, you see the windows are protected by the shimmering blue light of a magical barrier, as though the barrier is placed there in its very frame. Through it, you catch glimpses of a mesmerizing underwater panorama that surrounds the submerged structure. Amidst their organized chaos, your attention is then drawn to 3 individuals, each wearing the distinctive attire and badges of the Allegiance of Allsight. The trio are currently deeply engrossed in their scholarly pursuits, represent a diverse cross-section of races and backgrounds. You see a tiefling woman presides over her team. Your insight has you place her as the adjunct professor of archaeology, none other than Professor Insight Aquere. Her presence exudes authority, and her meticulous dedication to her craft is apparent in every aspect of the camp's operations. While it seems most of her research team has been recalled to the Crystal Chateau above, Professor Aquere still relies on the expertise of 2 dedicated research technicians. One looks to be like a laconic Kenku that appears to shadow a second looming figure, that of a boisterous and energetic towering Goliath. The 2 appear nearly inseparable as they go about. As the Goliath talks ceaselessly about some discovery of hers, the Kenku patiently listens, absorbing every detail. From time to time, the Kenku excitedly echoes back the Goliath's ramblings in her own voice, scribbling down onto a piece of parchment in front of him. Together, these 3 form a vanguard of the Allegiance of Allsight's ongoing efforts to uncover the secrets of Khal Moreau. So here ain't lying your first impression of this place. I'm looking at a time, it is 9:07, and I'll ask the group if you want to keep going or you want to call it here.
I think we should call it for Naya's sake. Or Megan's
Exactly.
sake.
I was about to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be easier for all of us to actually be there.
Sounds good
Yeah,
to
I'm
me.
good with that. We'll actually give me time in RP chat to do some exploration of this room.
I suppose I just wouldn't want progress of the story to take place in RP chat. RP chat is more for shopping, interparty play, you can talk to each other as characters and stuff. But if I start having the NPCs answer your questions about this place in RP chat, where half the party does not read that stuff, then people are missing out.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, no worries.
But for those of you who take notes, I will note down the brief description I just read of this place, just so you get an idea of where you want to continue from here.
Let's not go in the water.
Well, that is absolutely your call.
You need to ask Nia to take calm emotions.
Yeah.
There we are. I hope everybody had fun. What I usually do, I used to ask for feedback of the session, but it's far easier to ask for the following two. I call it the Stars and Wishes. Stars and Wishes is you have a star to give to one member of your party for anything they've done, be it cool roleplay or something decent they did as a player, MVP stuff. Give a star. And then Wishes, something you wished happened this session, maybe something I have to change for future sessions. On that same note, you can make a wish for next session, and I'll consider it. If anybody wants to do Stars and Wishes, I am all for it.
I'll give mine my star to for a fantastic herbalization potions RP. I've been alone doing all the herbalism basically, so it was a lot of fun actually doing that.
I wanted the reciprocal actually before you actually said that, was to actually give it to you. Although Julian offering the double scimitar was actually a good mine as well.
There we go.
Wishes, we want to survive. No.
Indeed.
Wishes we want to magically get a potion that's like duck oil that causes water just to wash right over top of us, and we never get it in our fur.
Get an umbrella.
Naya, hopefully
Umbrella.
somebody prestidigitation. Hopefully somebody has that.
No, not a caster, so it's not me.
I think Naya won't have that anymore now that
No, she
she's
won't.
found
No.
God.
No, she will have Terminator, but doesn't do the same thing. If she takes that cantrip.
Maybe we'll get you a scuba suit.
Swimsuit. That's funny.
Like one of the big old classic ones where it's like very spacious and it's like the giant helmet.
No,
Yeah. With the big rope going up so he just has air oxygen.
and,
Yeah.
and the window that has like basically a crossbar of metal. Look like a big scaphandre. Deep sea diving.
You guys are gonna look at Ryan. He's just gonna be a slight blur going back and forth of a deep sea diver.
So, I remember, Elaine, you asked about tapestry that you guys saw in the room. In the moment, I couldn't find its handout, but I do have it now. What I meant by artistic depiction, I posted in Discord, and I'll post it in the Roll20 chat just so you can get a reference. But it's by no means a map. It's just like a artist rendering of a Ankarel and Kalmaro sort of below it.
Right. And that's why I needed to make the distinction, because I would have taken, if it was an actual map, I would have taken a lot of notes to remember where to go and all of that. So,
Yes.
but it's not the case.
Perhaps something. The thing is, I always tell this to my adventurers that you as adventurers make the maps. Making a map is a free action. I usually at the table I always make one whenever the DM describes the rooms and stuff. I always map out the dungeon because most of the dungeon masters never had a map, unless it was like a battle map. So there's that. But maybe I'll consider something for next session. I also found this handout for the Allegiance of Allside Base Camp. So that's kind of neat.
Okay.
You can click on that for a nice zoom in to get a
Mhm.
greater sense of what this place looks like and stuff. It's just nice.
Oh, look at all the
Yeah.
nature stuff where I can look
Things in the
at.
jar, yeah.
All the little details are part of the story. Even the little Corlon symbol there, I just noticed in the middle left. That's a nice touch. I like that. So, kudos to whoever did the art. It's great. But yeah, we can carry on from here next session. I do hope that our new players got a chance to listen to the story, immerse a little bit. I know first sessions are typically the more quiet ones because you're still concentrating on the story and trying to get where you're at. Let me know if there's anything I can do to get you guys to feel more comfortable talking more often. If that's what you want, I don't know. I didn't know.
A lot of it was just them completing the previous events.
I agree,
So
yeah.
It was very much linked to them. We tagged along this time, but this is going to be like a full-fledged all being together.
As of now, you're all in new territory. Even the people who were in this party before, this is all new territory. So.
So we'll go from there, pretty much.
Yeah. Personally, I prefer, if you're not in battle, to do this little sceneries with NPC art, and that way people can let their imagination flow, sort of thing. And rather than having, even for NPC interactions where it's not combat, having combat until the point where you guys can start exploring. But if you guys wish me to do so, I can put you guys on the top-down map. No problem. I just want to make sure that it performs well, because it is huge. And Roll20 tends to be sort of glitchy with huge maps. But say, like, if I were to open this door and put you guys in the Allegiance of All-Site base camp, like so, I hope that's not glitching anybody's computer or anything, you know?
I don't even know where the people are.
Over here. I just pinged you guys. Over here.
Oh, right here.
Yes.
No, I'm good. Well,
We can use
There
this
we
map
go.
going forward if you guys want, and then I'll make handouts for, like, here's what's in front of you. Here's the scenery. And that's probably
If you have that will add to the top-down. So
for sure.
I seem to be having less problems with it than I did with previous maps.
think about Bazzoxan.
Yeah, well, Basilin had animated GIFs, first and foremost. I removed those entirely out of this. With the dynamic lighting, I was more merciful with it. I didn't add as many details to this map just to make it work. So hopefully it won't be too many issues, especially during, if it comes to it, combat and such.
Are those windows? Like these things here, windows?
So no, I don't have a way to make that lightning shimmer to the windows when this map was created, but there's no glass. You guys are hundreds of feet underwater. The pressure would absolutely shatter the glass. Remember, this place used to be on the surface, right, before the calamity. Due to the calamitous events that happened to it, all glass shattered. Every window frame is protected by this magical barrier that you witnessed before.
But is it a transparent barrier?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why we can still see through. Basically.
Yes, you should.
Okay.
Torrent, stick your hand through, see if it'll work.
You could.
Oh dear God.
I just nobody there when you guys were in the corridor, so.
Oh,
But-
kitty. Oh, sorry.
God damn it!
It just immediately implodes like, because of the change of pressure. Jesus. But
Bye bye, kitty.
I will go ahead and mark us bookmarked here.
Came back.
Session 52. Good stuff.
Just one note, because I
Of course.
caught that, but I maybe it's in the background story. You mentioned that this used to be an elven city, but it was like it's surface elves, I gather. That
Yes, correct.
city-
So this used to be where Ankaril is now. This entire complex. I did share. Yeah, I believe it was in our pre-chat a long time ago. Research conducted by Riot and the party. They went to the Cobblestone Library and researched a whole bunch of stuff. One of them was Calmero itself, and I did pin that and sort of I can repin it again if you want. That information will be privy to members of the Allegiance Fall site, including yours and Mac's character.
Okay, perfect.
But yes, surface elves living with orcs, that have survived
The calamity.
the one battle of the calamity where Groom's eye was taken out by Corlon. His blood bled upon the battlefield, and those elves stained by it turned to orcs. Those were the first orcs of Exandria. These people traveled to where Ankarel sits now, formed this city. We don't know what it was called back then. This is ancient history. We call it Kalmaro now, but they formed a city. Later on, Groomsh swore vengeance on Corlon and saw the city as some sort of a taint unto himself or something like that, and destroyed it. Or so the legend goes, right? One way or another, whatever happened to the city is now here, in the cistern of Ankarel.
Okay.
Yep. More answers will come in the coming sessions for sure.
Of course. Awesome. This was great.
I'm glad.
Glad to be part of it.
Yes.
Been looking to be part of Critical Role writ large, so it's gonna be fun.
Hey Tom, I just pinged the article about Calmoro.
Sounds good. It's by far not all the information about Calmaro, the religious notes, and by far not all the truth either. It's sort of, I think Elaine and I, we talked about this before, where sometimes when I give facts going forward, I'll be like giving off two truths and a myth, but I won't tell you which one is the myth. Because knowing the absolute truth is boring, frankly. But all that being said, I hope you guys will be ready for next session. You will need breathing apparatuses probably, and sources of light will probably help you a lot.
Well, I mean, we got water breathing from Riot.
Yeah. That counts, yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Sounds
fine.
good.
Out of character, Julia or Lorian, we're gonna have to like tell them a little bit about what you're up to down here, so they're not just completely shocked when they go around the corner and see something fucking huge and disgusting.
There is no
Right.
you down here. This is the entire party's affair.
No, I know. I'm more meaning like.
I know what you're
What
meaning,
his
and I'm telling you
practice
it's the entire party's affair. Trust me. So do tell the
Okay.
party. It's probably wise, yes. There are
Yeah,
no... Even in Kirkurul, whenever you watch like Fjord go about his little missions or whatever, it was always the party's affair. You know, it was always
Yeah.
shaped to benefit the entire party, to be part of the whole party's story. I don't want there to be a sense of like, we're here because of Julian, you know?
No, I know. I'm just saying, Julia. I'm just saying that should be brought up though.
Yes,
so it was
I
the
agree.
Party members.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay.
Trying to let it come out and roleplay naturally rather than spoiling something that could be an interesting roleplay for Mac and Ella.
Alain, do you... I probably butcher your name because I'm not French. Pardon.
No problem.
Um,
I heard worse. Don't worry. That's why I don't say my last name usually.
do you want to... Sorry, not that you want to. Like, do you usually participate in, like, RP chat, ask stuff, like the sort of roleplay we have going on over the week? I don't want you to feel forced, but it would be fun if you were. But then again, everybody have, like, limited time.
No, I can.
Okay.
I got days. I'm retired. I got days that I can do things.
Sounds good.
And go through. All the stuff that was handling right now was not with me, so it was for the party, the OGs basically.
Yes.
So I didn't have anything to contribute. But moving forward,
Moving forward.
some RP comes out of that. Sure. The only thing I don't have is Seldos's backstory, Mac. What I would know.
Yeah.
We've traveled together.
Okay, cool. I know I don't want to speak for people, but I know Lorian, he has, like me, he has his nights where we spend literally hours role playing, so that's always fun. Just don't want you to feel like obliged, but if you will participate, I'm looking forward to that. The only exception I will have is probably Megan, who plays Nia. Too busy in life to follow RP chat. I already came to terms with that. That's fine. Everybody else, I think, will be fine. Cool. Looking
I
forward
can
to that.
follow RP chat. I just might not have time to actually reply constantly.
It's fine. With my work, I do my job valiantly. I'm just too proficient in my job where 8 hours of work get completed in like 2, so I have 6 hours to just do D&D stuff all the time. So there you go.
That's worth it if you can have it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I won't hold up people any longer. If you guys gonna go, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it.
Thank
Nice
you
to
for
meet you
accepting.
guys.
Yay! We need a buzzer. We need some sort of a buzzer for people talking over each other.
Over, under, over.
Yeah.
Just saying, nice to meet you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, it was great. I'd definitely be down to talk more in RP chat with you guys throughout the week.
Yeah, and this being an interlude between sessions, don't feel pressured like, oh, we just arrived, so we can't RP now because we're just about to speak to NPCs. No, feel free. That's fine.
We
Maybe-
basically in RP we had
Huh?
we had 2 nights, right? So we could have basically 2 quote unquote campfire, and that means
Sure.
whatever we share on open for our backstories
Sure.
could be fair games, but that would be something that you guys now know about, at least about me.
Yeah, so the time stamp I will do for RP is probably like the night before you guys send to Camaro. I'll like that evening after you met with the rivals. I'll stamp that in.
With a few ales in the body, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
When the tongues get unleashed. All right, but I shall be going because Mom Nature is calling, and you don't put her on hold.
No, you don't. I need to get some food in me as well. All right.
All right, take care,
Cheers,
folks. We shall see you next Monday, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Good.
Night.
Cheers.
Here.
Toodles.
Yeah, I'll
Toodles.
probably shoot off too. I need to be up at 9:30 because I've got a meeting. So
Woohoo. Sounds good.
yeah, it's only online, so it's like a fucking 15-minute meeting, then I'll go back to bed probably.
Like me with lectures.
Well, the good thing is I don't have any lectures at all until January.
I just wake up. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Attendance, yeah. Check in, and I'll like sit there for 5 minutes. All right, I'm out. Go back to bed.
Yeah, back during COVID, I did that a lot. It's just like attended, mute up, and then I just kind of sit back in my chair, close my eyes, and
I can always look it up later. Yeah.
yeah, especially when it's stuff about ethics in computing. No, I'm going to sleep.
Does anybody have any questions for me about session while I'm still here, or I mean, it was all pretty straightforward. Yeah. But the mission at hand and everything, all good. Okay.
Think we're all good. See ya. Night.
See ya.
Right, lad.
Night.
I'll head off to take care.
See ya.